Michigan high school football players have battled through more adversity than any teenager should have to. But they'll be rewarded. The high school playoffs are back for a final sprint toward a state championship. And it begins this afternoon with a regional final heavyweight bout in Division I. We brought you here to Lapeer High School for the first ever meeting between undefeated Catholic Central and unbeaten and defending state champion Davison. Hi, everyone. With former Michigan quarterback Devin Gardner, I'm Matt Shepard. Folks, it's been 55 days since these young men last played. Devin, how challenging is that for them?
I mean, it's one of the most challenging things they're going to have to deal with as a high school football player. Myself, I've never had to wait 55 days to get back on the field during the season.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have to give them and their coaches and really the MHSAA a ton of credit for staying the course. Now, Davison comes in as a worthy defending champion, but they're without their best player, an all-state quarterback by the name of Brendan Sullivan, an early enrollee at Northwestern University. What do you do if you're the Cardinals to make up for this massive loss?
I mean, it's going to be tough because just like you said, it is a massive loss. He's at Northwestern now, but they have some weapons and athletes, and their top receiver is going to be in that position playing quarterback. Deion Brown Jr. is their best athlete on the football team, so why not put him at quarterback? That's the old adage. Use your best athlete and teach him how to throw. They've loved what he's done, and he's excited for his opportunity.
Great baseball player, so you know that hits close to home with me. Head coach Jake Weingart's told us Brown has been even keel, positive. He's really surprised them and how he's been able to stretch the field in practice. Catholic Central has surprised some with their aerial assault this year, and it's triggered by Declan Bile. He's an honorable mention All-Stater.
He is very talented, and he's, like you said, surprised a ton. Catholic Central is used to the wham offense, right, where you just run it 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They've thrown the ball 20 times a game this year, and it's because of this young man accompanied with a new offensive coordinator, but he's not doing it by himself. He has 3 weapons that are averaging 16 yards per reception at least, and Simp is averaging 21 yards. He's the big play threat. Look for a lot of big plays from him.
Yeah, he's really taken off since week 4. Remember, that CC defense has given up only 9 points per game. That helps their offense, too. And in 3 playoff games, Bile has thrown for over 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. Folks, these 2 schools are used to clashing on the wrestling mat for state championships. Today, one will wrestle away the regional title and keep their football season alive. Our high school football game of the week is a good one, and it's next on Fox Sports Detroit. The high school football game of the week on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Figer Law. We're unstoppable. Call 1-800-A-WINNER. Been a long and winding road to get these folks back on the football gridiron. Some of them taking some time out like in Grayling, not just to use tackling dummies for tackling, but also for sledding. Great to see them having some fun. We're ready to have some fun today, too.
For as long as the game has been played, a big part of the test of football has been stops and starts.
1, 2, 3.
Pivoting and acceleration.
He's into the clear. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown.
No, and then yes. But the phrase stops and starts is the essence of this unthinkable autumn in the state of Michigan. It was a football season that wasn't going to happen, and then it was, and then it did, and for a handful of weeks, we got a renewed glimpse at a glorious slice of normalcy. It's not a game that can be played on eggshells. We all trod nervously around the obvious concerns of the time, trying to keep masks and hopes up simultaneously. But the virus began rattling again, and with just 3 weeks to crown state champions, another stop was required, and the test just became tougher.
When the season started, we was going, we was rolling real good. Now we just trying to get back what we had.
Snow is real cold, but everybody excited. We got the mentality to do what we got to do to make sure we win.
We're not done, not satisfied, so it's time to get some work done.
This team kept hope, and they stayed together. If you give up, then the rest of the team is going to give up with you.
We have stopped, then started, then stopped, and now we relish the chance to start again.
Feels right, and it feels even better. I mean, for a January 9th day, you can't ask for a whole lot better than an afternoon of football at 31 degrees under clear skies. With my friends Devin Gardner and Trevor Thompson, our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew, I'm Matt Shepard, and welcome to the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week. Excited to bring you Davison and Catholic Central. Catholic Central won the coin flip. They decided to defer. It'll be Davison on offense to begin the first ever meeting between these two programs. Charlie Menser will kick it deep for Catholic Central, and we are underway. And a good kick. Let's take a look at this Davison offense. It's led by Dion Brown, the senior, who's become a more vocal leader. Has never, according to his coaching staff, they've never seen anyone pick up an offense so quickly. I mean, everything at the line of scrimmage, both physically and mentally, says something about not just his athleticism, but his football IQ, Devin.
Yeah, when you're a senior wide receiver and you are the leading receiver on the team and you play as well as he's played, he already had kind of a grasp of the offense, but now he just has to see it from a different perspective, and it's a quarterback's perspective.
His offensive line averages 6'1", 272 pounds, all of them returning starters from last year's state championship game. Lone setback is Carter Kreiderman. He's 26 in Burgundy. Brown with an inside give. Flowers out to the 24-yard line. That's Jalen Murray Flowers, the junior. The Davison offense averages 426 yards per game, 46.5 points per contest. They are led by Lucas Edgar. Up front, the left guard, a 3-year starter. He is big and he is physical. Harry Unger at the tight end is committed to Air Force. He wears 10. And you'll see them try to balance this offense, Devin, even though last time they played against Grand Blanc, they only threw it 6 times because they were successful running the football 450 yards. An illegal motion flag against Davison to start the afternoon.
Yeah, and those are some penalties that you might see early just because of different cadence from the quarterback. The linemen aren't listening to the same guy, and so he's going to have to get settled in, Dion Brown is, and get the cadence under control, and the motions and everything can time up so they can perform well.
Brown with an empty set and an easy pass for him to start the afternoon, a little short on that toss to Jalen Flowers, the sophomore. CC's defense is big, tough, and stout. Bruno Gubernich inside, really one of the better defensive players in the state. Braden Corser leads the team in tackles with 90 and tackles for loss. And Jackson Ewald at the secondary is probably underrated. Leads the secondary with 50 tackles, also has a block kick, a few fumble recoveries, and his lone pick went for 6.
And that defense is talented, but one of their best receivers is an all-state defender.
Brown on the keep. Outside the numbers past the 20 to the 21-yard line, stood up there. These are the tough situations for an inexperienced quarterback.
Yeah, this is exactly where Catholic Central wants Davison without their quarterback in the 3rd and long situation to put some pressure on Dion Brown to say, hey, you're going to have to drop back and throw this football because if you just run at us, we're CC and we're going to stop the run, and that's what they're going to try to do. So it's interesting to see what this first 3rd and long call is going to be. I expect that they won't chuck it all the way down the field, maybe an RPO, something intermediate to maybe get Dion Brown's feet wet and get him a completion.
You saw the 3rd down conversion numbers on the year. Those are impressive. CC will bring pressure. Brown throws on the run. It is caught right near the 30-yard line, just past the 30, should be enough for a first down. Good grab by Jalen Murray Flowers.
That's very, very good by the offensive coaching staff of Davison. Getting your quarterback, who's technically young, your young quarterback on the edge, and allowing them to feel comfortable making a play. It doesn't look the prettiest, but that ball is exactly where it needs to be. Gives this guy a chance to get his foot down and get out of bounds just at the first down marker. Very good job in his second pass of the game. completing that ball and keeping the drive alive.
It's a heck of a catch by Jalen Murray Flowers. There are two Jalen Flowers, but Murray Flowers is the wide receiver. The other Flowers is the running back. Speaking of running backs, first carry for Carter Kreiderman, who leads this Cardinals offense in carries, yards, and touchdowns. Good gain on first down for him.
Yeah, he's their bell cow. He's averaging 8 yards per carry, and you saw there he got 5. He's going to be somebody they lean on during this game to help in the RPO game and things like that to make sure that their quarterback stays comfortable.
Also leads this team in all-purpose yards. Brings up a second down and manageable 5 for Davison. Eight-man box shown by Catholic Central. They'll run it anyway. And Brown tackled, an ankle tackle made there by Betchler Hausler. Hauser, an honorable mention All-North selection, number 42. He on the inside is a sophomore. Corser, number 37 in white, on the inside is a sophomore. Very bright future for the CC defense with those two guys at the helm.
This is a very manageable down and distance. I look for a quarterback run here to try to get him into the groove of also running the ball from the quarterback position.
See what they do. Brown will give it to Kreiderman. Lunges to the 39-yard line. Flag on the play before the snap.
This looks like it's going to be offsides.
Results on a first down. Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
CC had a defender line up in the neutral zone, which in high school football, they don't let the play out. He's offsides, and they get 3 yards here. This is a good start for Davison. Haven't been perfect, but they had some things go their way already, and that's one of them to get an easy first down and a new fresh set down.
Even if they don't score, this offense is starting to gain some confidence on the very first drive, don't
and that's
you think?
exactly what you want from a quarterback who's never played the quarterback position at this level.
Works out of the shotgun and a 5 wide receiver set. Inside handoff to Kreiderman. Tries to peel it back, and he's popped right in the mouth by Corser. Corser's one of those throwback linebackers you absolutely love. 2-year starter.
Yeah, this CC defense flies around. It's led by Corser. You see he's reading it all the way, and he's going to run sideline to sideline. We're going to see him all day. 90 tackles on the year. That's no small task for inside linebacker.
One of those guys who rides four-wheelers, wears cowboy boots. No one tougher.
He is a linebacker's linebackership.
Started as a freshman. That doesn't happen at CC very often, if ever. We'll explain as our broadcast continues. 2nd and 10. Flowers tries to cut it back. He's not going anywhere. Hauser read it perfectly.
If you want to stop plays like this, you have to get vertical and seal the edge. They do a great job of that with their second edge protect. You can see at the beginning of that play, they had a little confusion on Davidson's end. They have to settle in and make sure, just because your quarterback's not there, you cannot let that affect the smoothness of the offense.
4-man rush, they set up a screen. Kreiderman's got it, and he's got a first down and more. Stiff arms his way, balances his way down to the 35. Perfect play call, move the chains for the Cardinals. They're in good shape.
Perfect play call is exactly right, Shep. Find ways to get Deion Brown completions. Quarterbacks need to see the ball completed. They set this up perfectly. They've run some jet sweeps, some sprint outs. They sprint them out right and bring a screen underneath. Very good job. Very well designed play and a huge play. Those big hogs out front getting in the way of the defenders, and you can see again Braden Corser coming and making a play, but just a bit too late.
You say hogs with affection, I assume. There's a toss to the right side. Here's Davian Warren. He got the edge and close to another first down before Sam Dursa throws him into a snow pile.
Shep, offensive linemen love that term. That's a term of endearment. But now this Davison offense is rolling. They go back to the jet sweep here. A nice pitch out to make sure that he gets the edge. And we've seen Catholic Central do a good job of sealing the edge. That time they did not do a very good job.
Another first down run, and Davison is using that vaunted running attack to march down the field.
Davison's done a great job of finding ways to manufacture a big play, right? Without your quarterback, your big play threat, and your big play threat at receiver at quarterback, it's hard to do that, and they've done a good job of it thus far.
It's a really good point. They haven't lost just their starting quarterback, but their best wide receiver. That's
Personal
a double
foul,
whammy.
Chop block. Offense, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's tough. Now you're at a first and very, very long. I wouldn't go to a screen here, right? Do a routine play, see what you get, and at some point during this drive, if you can't get the yards back, you're going to have to go to that screen game again, but a different version of it.
First and 25 for Deion Brown and the Davison offense. Off play action. A slip screen broken up. Good job defensively there by Mohamed Jaffer.
Yeah, that ball looked like a forward pass, so it's fun and it looks good to run on TV with the ball, but they're going to make sure that comes back and stops where it is.
You know what that's like. You love running with the football when you're in Michigan.
Right, so as you can see, it's a forward pass. Very good job. That's attention to detail. Make sure you throw that forward so if this happens, it's not a fumble. But here's the penalty that we had before. This is where it's going to happen. In here, you cannot be engaged with the offensive lineman and defensive lineman and then chop them right there. You can see that's illegal. When they do that to protect these defensive linemen from injuries, ACLs, things like that.
Yeah, you see all linemen now wearing those knee braces. They do that for protection. In the past, that used to be a trigger to, hey, that guy must have an injury, but now they wear it for protection. Toss sweep, Warren. Found a seam. Good run.
Yeah. The reason this play is so successful is because the quarterback, Deion Brown, is reading it. He's doing a good job, right? You see he's holding it to see what the defensive end gives him, and then he's pitching it out almost like a speed option without the speed.
Good block in front by Peyton Pizzala, too. So now 3rd and 10, and considering it was 2nd and 25, you feel pretty good about how you've moved the ball. They'll do the same thing to the left side. Kreiderman looking for some help. It's nowhere to be found. Swarmed under at about the 37-yard line.
They might have run that play to the wrong side because number 22, Mo Jaffer, is also a running back, and he knows that protecting the edge is very important. He does a great job of stringing it out and making sure the running back can't get outside and gain positive yardage.
Jake Weingart's a proven coach in just 3 years at 28-5. Davison, since 2016, has been an underrated power. 47-8 during that stretch. It's 4th down, and we'll call it about 11.
Shep, Brendan Sullivan also handled a lot of the punting duties. So that's a big deal in this football game, and it could be something that could really hurt Davison as this game goes forward.
One would guess Brown could do that as well. He will roll to his right, look downfield, stutter step his way, and now spin his way to the 32-yard line. He'll be well shy of the first down, but not a terrible way to start for Davison. Moved the chains a few times, established a decent running game, and gave that young man, Deion Brown, some confidence.
That shows how much confidence they have in their defense, though, right? You don't quick kick that away. You're comfortable. If we get it, we don't. If not, get a few yards and let our defense play defense the way they played all year.
Let's see what this Davison defense can do against a CC offense that has been very impressive. 37 points or more in 4 straight, led by that young man, Declan Bile. One of just 3 ever to suit up on a varsity as a freshman, and all that has paid off on this is junior season. Throws on first down. Nice comeback grab. A sliding haul in by Cameron Davenport. That's the favorite receiver, his team leading 25th catch of the year.
The one thing Declan worked on all summer was anticipation and standing in the fire and firing the throw. He puts this throw on the outside, and how about Davenport diving and making an amazing catch to start this football game. That's what you can see from CC. You can tell what they want to do. They want to attack this Davison defense and see if their athletes can outrun theirs.
2nd down and 2. On the ground, it's a 1st down carry for Mohammed Jafer. This offense for the Shamrocks averages 30 points per game. That from a year ago is about 20 points better. Can you believe that? The offensive line is stout and strong, led by Gubernic on the left tackle. Connor Cohen, big upside for that tight end, just a junior, number 82 in white. And Devin talked earlier about how the wide receivers are interchangeable. Bile handled the low snap. Not much running room there.
Unger got in there very quickly from the backside. We're going to talk about him a ton. He's leading the team in tackles with 38.
Evan Hager on the carry there. Dan Anderson in his 4th year. Part of 4 state titles and 4 runner-up appearances for Catholic Central on Tom Mack's staff. 17 years as the defensive coordinator at Catholic Central. His team staring at a 2nd down and 10. First possession of the afternoon for Catholic Central. Bile wants to throw, steps up nicely, lofting downfield and just off the fingertips of Owen Semp, his favorite deep threat. Davison's defense averages just 9.5 points per game against, the fewest since 2007. Harrison Unger, the number 9 defensive end in the state of Michigan, is their leader up front. Carter Harriman, the linebacker, has filled in nicely as a freshman. He's the lone non-starter from a year ago, and Tavion Warren has 2 picks on the year. Number 3 for Davison has taken both those interceptions the other way for 6.
And not on that list, Will Watkins leads the team in sacks with 5.
3rd down and 10, here comes the blitz. CC picks it up, Bile lost it, and Davison says they have it.
And there's that defense making a play when they needed it. They had a man downfield, and they get to Declan Bile just in time. Great job by number 95, who I just talked about, Will Watkins, making a play for Davison. You're not going to have a bunch of time against this Davison defense, and Unger gets in.
Yep.
Will Watkins recovers. Very good job. And people are going to look, hey, maybe his arm's going forward. Absolutely not. He's drawing back to throw the ball, and the ball comes out. Very good job by Davison making a play early in his football game on defense.
That tag team punch of Unger and Watkins making the biggest play early on for the defending state champions and giving their offense a much needed break.
When you have 2 defensive ends that are talented, they always talk to each other about having a party at the quarterback. Let's meet at the quarterback, and they did that there.
At the 42 of Catholic Central.
Big change of momentum. Maybe take a shot here to see what you can get. There it goes.
There it is. On a slant, Flowers has got it inside the 25.
That's what football is. It's a change of momentum. You got a big splash play from your defense. Go to the air, even without your starting quarterback. Very good job by Deion Brown. They talked about his ability to flip his hips and make throws on the RPOs because he played baseball. That baseball background helps him navigate throws through his receivers, and he puts that throw right on the numbers of Jalen Flowers.
I like that it's a relatively safe pass, too.
Yeah,
you didn't have
safe
to go for a home run ball. That's a quick slant. Good read, good throw by Brown. It pays off on a 1st and 10 inside the 25. Kreiderman muscles his way for a couple.
Kreiderman, the ball carrier.
Davison plays out of the Saginaw Valley Blue Division. 9-0 this year. Only Belleville ranked higher at the end of the regular season. And last year's state championship win over Brighton was their first of any kind in football.
Yeah, I mean, they rolled through everybody this year. And that state championship last year, they returned 9 on offense, 10 on defense starters, and you can see they came here ready to play.
Brown throws it again. Jalen Flowers sneaks his way down to the 20. Another good tackle made by Braden Corser. Just love watching this kid play. They say he's a little bit of a nut job. That's okay. if you're a linebacker.
That's
You got to
exactly
have a
what
little
you want.
crazy in you, don't you?
That's exactly what you want from your linebackers. You don't want your linebackers helping guys up, giving people flowers. You don't want that. You want somebody that's insane and crazy about football and tackling people.
Yeah, you want the epitome of Chris Spielman, and that's exactly what Braden Corser is. 3rd down
Bingo.
and 6.
He can outflake the defense right away. Look for him to maybe throw it out, get it out there.
Instead, it's a give to Warren. Balances up and all the way to the 15. This will be an interesting spot. It's 4-down territory here anyway, isn't it, Deb?
Yeah, I think so. I think you definitely got to go for it here on 4th and 1. They're going to go fast. Yep.
Here we go. Right to the line of scrimmage. Empty set. Oh, and a quick whistle. On a 4th and 1, Catholic Central's defense needs to talk about it. 1:24 remaining in the opening quarter. Davison has had to deal with some issues. Why? Because their best player isn't on their team any longer. But Dion Brown has filled in admirably, and he's got the offense in really good shape on a 4th and 1 when we return.
Well, welcome back to our high school football game of the week in this regional final between Davison and Catholic Central. Now, these guys have never met on the gridiron. However, they do have a rivalry that goes back to wrestling for the D1 state championship. They've met 4 of the last 8 years, and each one of those times Catholic Central has come out the state champs. However, since they have not met on the gridiron and they do want to build that rivalry, they will meet in week 2 next week on the football field. The wrestling coach at Davison, Roy Hall, got with the football players earlier this week and reminded them there is a rivalry between our 2 schools. Let's take it on the gridiron and get that back-to-back state championship. That's what they're looking for, but they'll have to beat the Shamrocks here today to do it, Matt.
They're playing like 2 heavyweight wrestlers so far. Trevor, it's so good to see you. To see Trevor and our Red Wings coverage all season long. It begins Thursday night here on Fox Sports Detroit. Excited for that whole band to get back together. 4th down and 1 for Davison. Offset I. Brown with a quarterback sneak, and he gets a little nudge from behind. Should be enough.
Yeah, you got some of the Catholic Central defenders saying no, he didn't get it, but he definitely got it. Not even close. They're not even going to have to measure anything. It's going to be a fresh set of downs for Davison. Great job by him driving his legs and making sure he finds the crease to try to get this first down on 4th and 1.
Kreiderman bounce into the outside, stiff arming his way down to the 10 or so. 5'11", 195-pound senior is committed to Lake Erie College, so he'll be running the football for them next season.
He's a big part of why they rushed for 450 yards in their contest a week ago. Not a week ago, but the last week they got a chance, 55 days ago when they got a chance to play football.
I like that double-headed monster they got in Kreiderman and Warren.
Yeah.
Both run hard, both got a little shake to them.
Like an inside-outside combination, very good.
Picked up just 2. He gets it again down to the 10-yard line.
Now, this is going to be an important 3rd down. If Catholic Central can get a stop here and hold them on 4th, if they do go for it, this will be huge for their defense, because when you get a turnover, it's very tough for the defense to try back out there and be motivated. And then, not to mention, Davison is driving right down the field since the time they took over. If they can get a stop here, that will be very, very positive for not only the defense, but the Catholic Central team as a whole.
Davison doing a nice job of staying within themselves, not trying to do too much. 3rd down and 6. Brown will throw, rolling the pocket the other way. Now he'll tuck it and run, break a tackle. Dursa came in and lowered the boom to drive him out of bounds, well shy of the line to gain.
One of the best receivers on the team is also an all-state defender. He's going to college to play offense, but on defense, he's been special this year, and that's why he was voted all-state. And he shows a lot of speed and makeup ability as he gets to Deion Brown before he can turn the corner.
One of the captains of this Catholic Central team and one of the hardest working kids, Sam Dursa.
Timeout, Davison.
Davison will call a timeout. Last time they were looking at the throwing hand of Deion Brown. Right now it's 4th down and 7 with just a couple of seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Replacing a quarterback like Brendan Sullivan isn't easy for Davison, but when we come back, Jake Weingartz tells us why he's still confident in his team prevailing here today.
We have a great supporting cast. You know, there were a lot of games this year where we didn't have to ask Brendan to do a whole lot. Our game against Grand Blanc, we ran for 450 yards and only threw the ball 6 times. So we have a great group of supporting cast for Brendan. And then obviously the quarterback we're going to have back there this Saturday is an extremely great athlete. He's got a great arm. He's extremely intelligent. He can run. So we feel confident in what he can do. And obviously we've cut the playbook down a little bit, but I mean, you're going to see the same Davison offense that you saw all year.
You can understand why they have so much confidence. Everyone sees how good Deion Brown is, and that's what's got Davison football players excited. Let's see how excited they get after a 4th down and 8 call. Pressure comes, down he goes at the 25-yard line. It's those 2 stud middle linebackers that came on a blitz that thwarted the Davison drive.
This is where they're going to miss Brendan Sullivan the most. And an opportunity to get a hot ball out, right, to your running back because of the pressure. You need to get this ball out quickly to the hot read. He misses it. That's a good stop by Catholic Central. Can't wait to get back.
It's a great start to our high school football game of the week. We expected a slugfest. It has not disappointed as we head to quarter number 2.
I'm Mickey Yoke at the game break. Things got heated early in Division I between Belleville and Cass Tech. The two teams met at field to exchange pleasantries before kickoff, but Belleville got the first laugh. Kobe Langford able to take the handball up the middle, punch it in from 4 yards out. 7-3 Belleville as they played in the second quarter. And you'll want to stay with us after today's game because John Keating and I will have highlights from all across the state's regional final action. And also that man on your screen there will join us, former Detroit Lion, Grand Valley State Laker, and Newberry High School product, Rob Rubick. Rubes, football heaven today, right?
You got to be happy, Mick. All these poor kids have been waiting so long to get this playoff continued, and now they finally get back. And we're seeing some good football early on. I've been watching 3 games, keeping an eye on the Belleville-Cass Tech game, Mick.
And so looking for our first score in Lapeer between CC and Davison as we send it back to Matt Shepard and Devin Gardner.
All right, guys, look forward to it. Thanks very much. Love that OT show, and Rob Rubick's going to join us for a little bit here in the second quarter after this first snap on CC's second possession of the afternoon. Bile turns and gives. Jafer found a seam on the outside past the 45, and that's a huge gain to get out a little bit of trouble for Catholic Central's offense.
Very good start, just an outside zone where they're going to pull the center. He's going to kick out the defensive lineman, and that's a good job by Mojay for staying skinny, getting to the outside and getting as much as he can. This young running back has been talented. He was thrust into duty early in the year because of an injury to the starter, and he's taken full advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, coaches say a bit of a big surprise. Rubes, anything surprise you in that opening quarter?
Nothing really, Shep. You look at Harry Younger, he made the strip sack, and a little surprising, I guess. The only thing is Jake Weingart's going for it on 4th and 8 instead of trying to take the 3.
On the ground, they give it to Evan Hager. Second carry, nothing doing because of Will Watkins. This Davison defense, Rubes, you've seen an awful lot. I know we talk a lot about Brendan Sullivan, who's now at Northwestern, the quarterback at Davison, but Boy, this defense has really been a primary reason they're undefeated, don't you think?
Well, Shep, we did the championship game last year, and the outstanding player in that game probably wasn't Brendan Sullivan, it was Harry Unger. And we saw the impact that he had already in this game with the strip sack, changing the field position for the Davison Cardinals. They were unable to capitalize on it because of some good defensive play by the Shamrocks.
Second down and long for Catholic Central. Off play action, Bile slings one incomplete. Flag on the play. The intended receiver was Sam Dursa.
Yeah, they're going to get the defense for pass interference here. Got a little handsy as the ball was heading to Dursa.
Pass interference, defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, results in a first down.
See right here, as the ball's on the way, he's absolutely hugging him. Not allowed in football.
Good job by the Catholic Central offensive line to protect their quarterback. First and 10 from the 41 of Davison.
Got one-on-one at the top of the screen here with Davenport. Saw him make a very big catch earlier.
Instead on the ground with Hager. He's going nowhere. Again, Will Watkins and Unger in. Clark Hamilton at the bottom of the pile, the middle linebacker.
Hager is a 10th grade running back who has earned these reps, right? Early in the year, he didn't play much. He played in a couple blowouts, and he showed great burst and great ability to get to the outside. Now, he hasn't been able to do that here today, but look for him. If he gets to that outside, he's got some burners, and he may be able to take it to the house.
Rubes, how do you loosen up this Davison defense?
Oh, I think you let Declan Bile try to make a few plays down the field. The inability to run the football effectively for CC is hurting them because you really can't go to the play action. Davison's packing the box a little bit right now, but you have to try to loosen them up through the air.
Second down and 10. Bile will do just that. Steps up, downfield heave. He's got his man. It's Semp. Reaches for the goal line. Is he in?
Referee was a little late getting down there. I think he got in, but I don't think they're going to give it to him. Referee wasn't anywhere to be found, and he can't see if he got across the line before his knee touched. But that's a big play. We've highlighted in the open. Look for big plays from Semp. He's their deep threat guy. He's averaging 21 yards per reception, and this was a big one for Declan Bile. A complete dime, and Semp drags him almost into the end zone. Down to one. They're going to go to Mo Jafer here to punch this thing in.
Wow, that's a really nice play for Catholic Central. The big play capability on the money. Bile to Semp.
They may go quarterback sneak here.
First and goal. They do. Bile leans. Does he got it? Ball came loose, but was he over the goal line first?
I think they're giving him a touchdown, Shep.
It looked like he crossed the plane. All you have to do is the
guys
nose
are right.
of the ball just needs to cross the little white line for a second, and that's what it does. Savvy play by Declan Bile. Now, he's going to get back to that sideline, and Coach Anderson's going to say, hey, you better make sure you score that touchdown, or else it's going to be issue. Great job by Declan Bile.
Yeah, you got to be careful in this situation. This is not the NFL. There's not 7 cameras that you can look at instant replay
and there's
in high
no
school.
review.
And you got all those bodies in there. They very easily could have ruled the other way, but I believe he had it across the line. The officials got together, talked about it, and I think they made the right call.
Yeah.
Rubes, the big play capability, so important. How many times have the three of us talked about teams being able, if your running game is stuck in neutral, you have to be able to throw.
Well,
vital for that here.
Yeah, you got to loosen them up. We saw him do that on that last big throw.
Defense, half the distance to the goal. We'll redo the try.
And you have to, appreciate Declan Bile's mental ability for the fact he missed a big throw on the first drive, if you remember, and that time he laid it perfectly. Big play, put him in position to score, and they capitalized.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from your quarterback. Can he respond after making a mistake, right? He missed that big throw that Roots just talked about. Plus, he did fumble to give the ball back and give Davison a chance to drive down and score. His defense stands tall for him, and then he makes 2 plays to get him back.
Just like cornerbacks. Quarterbacks have to have short memories, too.
Very much so.
Have to be able to go back to the well, if you will. Charlie Menser, who's only missed 1 PAT all season.
So you knew it had to be some kind of penalty from Davison when he missed that one just a second ago.
Good snap, hold, and a perfect kick.
Yes.
6 plays, 75 yards. A 1-yard touchdown run by Declan Bile, but it was his right arm that got his team on the doorstep. A perfectly thrown ball to Owen Semp, and the Shamrocks draw first blood on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, the Shamrocks football team is playing this game with heavy hearts. Lineman Javon Massey lost his mother, Patricia, at the age of 37 on December the 5th. That was during lockdown, obviously. The team was not together, but some of his teammates came to celebrate his birthday a week later. They brought him a varsity jacket, they brought him a cake, and they came to celebrate with him to let him know that the brotherhood was with him, that he was not alone. He was a transfer from Harper Wood, so it's his first year at Catholic Central, and he's now seeing just what that brotherhood means and how they've supported him, encouraged him, and certainly helped him take his mind off of what his family is dealing with, a little bit of football, and a chance to move on here in the playoffs today, guys.
Boy, Trev, that's such a tough story, isn't it? You lose such an important member of your life, and yet you have gained so many brothers. That's what it's all about, building a culture. Both these programs have outstanding football cultures, and it starts young. It doesn't start when they reach the high school doors. It starts before then.
That's one thing that both these football programs hang their hat on, a brotherhood. Yeah. So, and some people call it drinking the Kool-Aid, and these teams believe that they are brothers without the same blood.
You know, it can be a great lesson in life, you know, where you come together for one common goal, no matter the diverse backgrounds. Good kick that'll be returned from inside the 10. Flowers to the 25 and out past the 30 for Davison's third possession of the afternoon. 7-0 Catholic Central. Davison has moved the football, but recently on a 4th down and 8 chose to go for a touchdown rather than a field goal attempt, and that's why they've yet to score. Hey, football fans, make sure to tune in again next Saturday at 1 o'clock for our MHSAA Game of the Week semifinal edition. Don't miss out on all the gridiron action beginning on Fox Sports Detroit at 1. That's the MHSAA Football Game of the Week semifinals next Saturday at 1 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit. The winner of this matchup, Devin, gets either Rockford or Saline. Yeah. And, of course, John Keating, Rob Rubick, Mickey York will have all the information on high school OT.
I look for Davison to try to get Deion Brown more involved by getting him on the edge and giving him some more run-pass option so that he can make some plays, and here he is doing it here.
Off play action, throws across his body, home run ball, and they've got it inside the 30. Somehow Jalen Murray Flowers got behind the secondary and made a huge play for Davison's offense.
As I just spoke about, as it's happening, you want to get him on the edge and see if he can make some plays, and he has proven that he's fully capable. You can see Sam Durst probably got a little nosy because of Davison not having the quarterback, right? He's not going to throw it over my head, is he? Yes, he is, young man. Very good job by Deion Brown getting that ball up and over the defense.
And that's where the play action comes in, too.
Yep.
Kreiderman, the tailback, to the right of Brown. Toss sweep. The old USC play. Maybe a face mask on that play, and he crawls his way inside the 20. Hard-nosed runner Kreiderman, who epitomizes the city of Davison in a name.
Yeah, it's going to be a face mask, but they're trying to talk about, hey, where did it occur? Where will the yardage be?
Defense, 5-yard penalty from the end of the run, results in a first down.
Now, there's a face mask on this play, but the reason this play is working so well, the defensive end is diving inside and leaving this edge very soft and allowing this running back to get the ball out. Deion Brown is reading it. He sees the defensive end with his face inside, and now he has the edge, and that's where you're going to see the face mask there. They might have missed one there. I think it might have been the ball that he pulled rather than the face mask. Let's take a closer look. Yep, that's definitely the ball that he pulls, but looks like the face mask.
Brown pulls it off the play action, dumps it underneath, and he's got his H-back, Peyton Pizzala, for a nice gain.
Before the drive, I talked about getting Deion Brown on the edge, and they've already done it twice in this drive of 3 plays. That's exactly how you're going to keep in this game. Give your athlete a chance to be the athlete he is. He outruns the great linebacker Corser, gives a nice little soft throw, easy throw, picks up yardage on first down. Now They got another first down.
Anybody do that better than the Green Bay Packers? Get Rodgers to the edge and just take a little 3-yard dump off to a tight end or a fullback and let them do their work.
Even in Aaron Rodgers' older age, he's still one of the best athletes running around inside that box.
First and goal from the 4 for Brown.
Here he is again on the edge.
Throwing for the end zone and incomplete.
That's a very good throw. On first down, you don't have your guy. Throw it out the back of the end zone. You know, a lot of times when you get a guy that hasn't played quarterback much, he's going to try to make plays when they just aren't there. That's very savvy, and they talked about how smart he was picking up the playbook as a quarterback and making good decisions in practice, and you saw it there. Good job throwing that ball in the back of the end zone, living to fight another down. Now you have second down.
Still dealing with a cut hand, as we had mentioned earlier in the broadcast. The thing I like most about it, he's an athlete. Let him get to the edge, give him the option. It really forces the defense to have additional pressure on it.
A lot of pressure put on the defense. Make those linebackers run sideline to sideline. Those big hogs, make them run sideline to sideline. Make plays with your legs and arms.
Second and goal from the 4. Off play action. Pressure coming. He eludes it. Squaring his shoulders, back to the end zone, touchdown!
Shep, I've been that dual threat guy in that position. There's a flag on the play, but when you're the better athlete, you're not even worried about those big linemen chasing.
Penalty against Catholic Central. That'll be assessed on the kickoff. Dion Brown to Avion Warren for the first touchdown throw of Brown's varsity career.
On all but one play, they got him on the edge, and this is another example. He does a great job. It almost gives like a Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford no-look throw. He is in his bag. He's deep in it like the fries at the bottom. He's feeling himself in his first start, and his team has benefited from it a great deal.
Yeah, he looked off Harry Unger, didn't he? And that's where everyone thought he might have been going. Instead, he went to his tailback. The extra point is up, and it is good from Gabe Hopkins. Dion Brown answers Catholic Central's first touchdown of the game with Davison's first touchdown. Put the athlete on the edge, let him do his stuff, and he's showcasing it on Fox Sports Detroit today. Davison needed an answer. Davison needed an answer, and they got it in the form of Dion Brown to Avion Warren to tie it at 7.
Davidson's offense has really hit their stride. They found a chink in the CC defense's armor, and they are exploiting it at every turn, and it comes in the form of Dion Brown on the edge. The best athlete on the field making plays.
Keep in mind, this CC defense allowed just 20 points to 3 playoff opponents. Just 34 total points the last 4 games. They're only given up like 8 points and change in the last 4 games.
Yeah, we talked about Davidson's defense. CC's defense is very, very good as well.
Yeah.
And they haven't been in a position where they just can't stop a team. On that last drive, it looked like they just couldn't stop Davidson.
Hopkins with a big leg through the end zone. And here comes Declan Bile and Catholic Central, beaming with confidence after their last scoring drive, where they took it 75 yards to pay dirt. A lot of games taking place on this football Saturday. It's fun to say that again, isn't it? And the winner gets either Saline or Rockford. A little bit of an upset right now, wouldn't you say? Saline in front of Rockford by 1. Oak Park and Churchill in a tight one in the second in Division II. Herb Brogan and Jackson Lumen Christie trailing Schoolcraft by, or they lost to Schoolcraft, I should say, by 7. Bile off play action, batted down. Unger again makes the play. Number 10 in Burgundy has been an absolute force on defense.
Absolutely, he gets in there. It's an RPO play action style play, and you have you have your receiver behind him, but you got to find a way to get it to him. He can't navigate the throw. Unger does a great job of getting up and getting that ball batted down.
we saw these two teams jawing at one another before the game started, and it continues during the contest itself. There's a lot to be proven here. Unger is going to take his talents to the Air Force Academy. They're going to be pleased with his size and his ability. Leads the defensive line in tackles, and that's 2nd down and 10. Hager on the ground, breaking tackles, good hard run up to the 24. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Catholic Central. Now this is where defense really helps its offense. You get a chance to flip the field if you're a defensive player for Davison to really help your offense.
Oh, without question. You know, a punt's going to come if they do not get the 1st down. And if you can get the ball with favorable field position with the momentum that Davison has, that's going to be very positive for them.
Bile out of the shotgun, a 4 wide receiver set. Here comes the blitz. He reads it, throws it downfield, and incomplete. Intended for Owen Semp. Good coverage downfield by Jalen Murray Flowers.
Davison has got to be happy about forcing a punt after they gave up a drive earlier on the previous defensive possession for themselves. They force a punt and are gonna come away with favorable field position.
Not just that, 3 and out.
Yeah,
right?
Quickly. And look who's back deep to return the punt, the best athlete on the field, not gonna relinquish his duties as the returner just because he's playing quarterback.
Menser will punt it away for Catholic Central. He's their kicker and their punter. And a flag on the play. Wow. Offsides against Davison, so 4th and 1 now.
Is there a decision here, Shep? What do you think? Or do you just punt it away?
I would punt it away, but, you know, just because of how good my defense is. But I'll tell you.
Looks so tempting.
Points are going to be at a premium in this game.
Yeah. I think there's a fake in the works? You never know.
How about you? What would you do?
I'm going to call a timeout, and we're going to talk about it, right? Because if we're CC football and we can't get 1 yard, we don't deserve to win this football game.
That's a good point.
This is an important down, and maybe they do have a fake that they have in their playbook that maybe they want to just talk it over a little bit more. Make sure they know, hey, if you see this look, we're going to be able to fake it, but if not, we can't.
I love this conversation. We'll get into it more, but first, a game break with John Keating. A lot of football to be covered on high school football OT. Keating mans that ship. Here he is. John?
All right, Shep, thanks. Let's work on a highlight in Division III. Defending champ River Rouge trailing by a point until Davon Hill powers into the end zone for a 4-yard score. They'd add a 2-point conversion to make it 14-7. The Panthers would add to that 22-7 now as they play in the second quarter. We'll have a live look in on that game as well as a look in at Castech and Belleville. More FaceTime for Rob Rubik as well when we join you at halftime.
And
guys.
you, of course. That's good stuff. All right, Corey Parker's team, very good. So you and I were just talking before Keats' game break. You know, they're going to go for it here on 4th down. If you're going to do a fake punt, why not just put your best offensive players out there and go for it on the short one, right?
Exactly. Like
so
I
that's
said,
what they're thinking.
If we're CC football and we are who we think we are, we've got to be able to get 1 yard, whether it be with quarterback sneak, we're going to hand it up the gut. They may try to draw them off sides. That's discipline, right? That's what CC football is, and they need to find a way to get 1 yard and keep this drive alive.
Now, Davison calls a timeout. What do you think?
Watch the ball, guys. Watch the ball. Don't give cheap yards and allow them to get a 1st down without ever having to run a play.
We knew this would be a good one. Both these teams, according to Max Preps, ranked in the top 10 in the state of Michigan. Davison, number 1. Rockford trying to get to the semifinals with a win over Saline today, number 2. And Catholic Central there in at number 9. Cass Tech, West Bloomfield, Belleville, all right there in the thick of it.
How about this 1 versus 9 matchup? Two very talented programs.
Remember when it was 1st and goal, Catholic Central scored with a quarterback sneak. How much is being reminded to Davison of that very moment?
If I'm CC, I know who I am and I know who Davison knows I am. right? So I'm not going to run up the middle. I'm going to go on the outside and try to get the edge because they're going to be all barreled in there to stop the run. But they may just go quarterback sneak here.
Trying to draw him off. Bile with a hard count. Davison didn't budge. They reset. Now there's the discipline we were talking about.
Yep. Thought they might try to draw them off sides, and that's what they tried to do. Now they're just going to punt it away. Gotta love a bit of a chess match that's going on right now between these two talented programs.
Do you agree with the philosophy? Usually the best teams, or among the best teams, are the most disciplined teams?
Yeah, without question. Football is a game all about discipline, right? And it's the ultimate team sport. If one guy's undisciplined, that could ruin an entire play. So that to get a group of people to be disciplined and on one accord is very difficult, and these two teams are doing a good job of doing it so far this year.
Warren will return this punt. Not Brown, but Warren. Menser. High kick and a good one. It's going to bounce at the 30 and take a Davison hop. It'll be deadened there by Connor Bell. .23 left to go in the opening half. Down to the gray turf. Trevor Thompson. Trev?
Yeah, Matt, and you notice this gray, frosty-looking turf, and I asked the officials if it makes it more difficult to officiate plays downfield, to judge out-of-bounds plays, or to get correct markings. And they said that, no, not really. It's marked fairly well. There's not a problem with it. They said the toughest one to referee on is Orchard Lake St. Mary's. That bright red field almost blinds the eyes, but no problems with the color of the field here.
It's good. It's a good-looking facility there at Lapeer High School. That great turf, much like Eastern Michigan's at Rynearson Stadium. Tied at 7. Last time Davison had the football, they scored. Dion Brown, wide receiver turned quarterback, out of necessity, will throw. On an out pattern, it's caught. That's Jalen Flowers. Just his 3rd catch of the year, and a first down for Davison.
This is a big drive for CC's defense because it's very clear Dion Brown is filling himself from the quarterback position. He's been a talented receiver all year and all throughout his career. He's filling himself as a quarterback right now, and that was a result of why they called that play. Easy pitch and catch on a curl with soft coverage from the CC defense.
Has CC back on their heels a little bit.
Absolutely.
Throwing the football the last couple of possessions, and really on the first 2 possessions as well. 1st and 10. Pressure comes. He runs up the middle and crawls his way into CC territory. Look, that's a broken play, and that's still a pretty good gain before he's dropped after a gain of about 5 or so.
Very good job. It's not there. What we wanted is not there. It's first down. Go get some yards. He gets 4, and that's just like calling a run play, except you get your quarterback still in his groove, making plays for your football team. He looks right. He looks right. Don't like it. Be an athlete. Be an athlete. Go get 4. Get down. Protect yourself. Move on to 2nd down and a medium 6.
That's the thing that impresses you. He's not trying to do too much. Rolls the pocket again. Good protection. Downfield and incomplete. Intended for Peyton Pizzala.
As he slides into the snowbank. Gotta love football in January in Michigan. Missed him by just a little bit, but you see they go back to getting him on the edge where he's comfortable and making a throw, and you saw a nice tight spiral on this throw, but just outside the outstretched arms of the receiver, and the snow slows him down so he doesn't get to the track.
Toboggans his way into that ice pile. You see what Davison's been able to do with Brown at the helm offensively. Brown has talked to Brendan Sullivan a number of times. Sullivan has helped him in practice before he left for Evanston and Northwestern.
Soft coverage up here.
3rd and 6. Quick read, backpedaling, setting up a screen. Kreiderman dropped it.
When you have that soft coverage, you want to go to the screen to that side because now the corner that you're going to have to block is way down the field and you have a better chance. Advantageous angles are very important when you're running screens. Got a penalty. It could be a holding.
Yeah, or an ineligible man downfield. You always wonder about
Yeah,
that when you
also
set up
in screens when
yeah.
you take a little time to get the ball out.
Right.
It looks like it's going to be on Davison.
Holding, offense, penalties decline.
Well, that's why
Fourth
you're
down.
the analyst.
That's why I'm the analyst, Shep. It's holding.
It's holding.
you can see shoulder pads all over the place.
Flag on the field goes against the Cardinals on a hold.
That's a tough pass to handle if you're Carter Kreiderman.
Yeah, very, very tough. Behind, kind of high. You're moving in run direction. The ball is the opposite. But luckily he didn't catch it because that corner was waiting to decapitate him.
Jackson Ewald picked it up, thought, hey, I might have a chance for a touchdown here. Instead, it's an incomplete pass.
It's a big stop for CC.
It sure is. Just like Davison forced a 3 and out, Catholic Central's defense stands tall and does the same. Semp on the fair catch inside the 10. 6:12 remaining. Catholic Central's offense back on the field trying to break the tie. This is a team that's been in deep in postseason play quite a bit in the history of their storied franchise or storied football program. 10 football titles, 7th most in MHSAA history.
Play games.
Harrison more than anybody else, and Harrison is no longer. Actually, the two teams among the most in Michigan high school football history are Farmington Harrison, who is no longer, and St. Martin de Porres, no longer, 13 and 12 respectively. Mile to give. Nothing. That Davison run defense is so stout. That's the first carry for Spencer Lyons here today.
Air Force is getting a good one, and Harrison Unger.
You like him, don't
He
you?
is all around the football, and when you run to that right side, he is stout. I mean, doesn't move at all, gets in late on the tackle. He, along with Will Watkins, are a very good combination on that Davison defensive line.
Yeah, I like Watkins too. He is a tough dude. There's no doubt about that. 2nd down and 10. Throwing situation for CC. Bile obliges. He's got Dursa on an out pattern, and he's wrapped up right around the 12-yard line. Good tackle by Landon Kish. We had mentioned storied CC program. There's Harrison with 13 and DePorce with 12. Jackson Lumen Christie won't have a chance for number 12. They were beaten this weekend with the Menden Hornets. Seemingly there every single year. East Grand Rapids, they had a run like nobody's business.
How impressive is St. Martin de Porres continues to be up there, and they've been closed
for years
since I got to high school.
Yeah. Bile can't connect with his tight end, Connor Cohen. And CC, another 3 and out.
CC tries to take a page out of Davison's book and get their quarterback on the edge, just a bit outside. The tight end's covered. Great job not making a bad decision or making a bad play worse. Punt the ball away and allow your good defense to play defense.
Battle of field position right now, Dev. Forcing CC into another punt from their goal line. Warren is back deep to receive it. Warren lets it bounce at the 40. CC will take care of it there. Good field position for Davison. Hey, football fans, make sure to tune in again next Saturday at 1 o'clock for our MHSAA Football Prep Zone games, semifinal edition. Don't miss out on all the gridiron action beginning online at 1 o'clock. Again, that's the MHSAA Football Semifinals next Saturday at 1 o'clock online at foxsportsdetroit.com/Detroit. West Bloomfield taking care of business against the Bulldogs of Romeo. Muskegon and East Grand Rapids. We talked about East Grand Rapids and their double-digit state championships. And at the break, Marine City and Frankenmuth in a 7-7 tie. Davison trying to break this 7-7 tie with Catholic Central at Lapeer High School. Dion Brown with a give to Kreiderman. Cuts it back up, a good cut. Takes him inside the 35. Just one timeout for Davison. CC cannot stop the clock. They've burned all 3 of theirs. Almost twice as many plays run for Davison than Catholic Central.
Second down and short is a time where you could really use any play in your playbook. Yeah. And you got soft coverage all. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. All kinds of problems on that exchange.
Yep, he's still calling out, barking out signals. They are so lucky that Dion Brown was able to get on this football before the big man, number 24, Sean Field, whose jersey is half off his body and taped together because of how he plays. And that really explains him as a kid, right? He's a hard-nosed kid that just loves to hit others.
Would you like the tearaway jerseys to come back? Like Earl Campbell had the tearaway jerseys in Houston. God, I loved Earl Campbell.
No.
Oh,
no.
That would be phenomenal.
No tearaway jerseys.
Oh, I would love it. I would love it. Can't bring him down
Sean
with one
Field
arm.
may need a tearaway jersey. He's actually probably happy. It's hard to hold when you don't have much of a jersey left.
If it was good enough for Walter Payton and Earl Campbell, it's good enough for me. 3rd down and 11. And a flag on the play. That's a delay of game call against Davison. Boy, they're hurting themselves. Yeah.
Still 3rd down.
Wrong direction.
You know, the weird thing on that last snap, Dev, that was low, was there were about 4 Davison players moving before the ball was snapped.
Yeah. It looked like that half of the team was on the same page and the half of the team was on the other end of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're moving in the wrong direction. I can tell you that. 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16 is not a favorable down and distance. Look for a screen here or a play to just try to get some of it back and then maybe punt it away and play the field position game.
It's too bad because on the first down carry, Kreiderman got a big gain. It's 3rd down and 16. Brown's got to throw. Delivers, and Warren is out of bounds and didn't hold on anyway.
You don't usually see an 81 coming out of the middle of the field on defense, but that's a great job by Owen Lamara getting to the receiver and making sure he can't come down inbounds with the football, because if he does, that would be a completion for a 1st down.
Yeah, that's Owen Lamara, the senior, wearing 81 in white for Catholic Central. They turn away Davison, and Davison will have to punt it back. Gabe Hopkins to Owen Semp.
If you're Davison, you do not want to give Semp a chance to catch this ball and run, because he's the fastest player on CC's roster, and he can go, as we saw earlier.
Hopkins gets it away, and he's hit too. See if a flag comes out after being spun around. There's the flag.
I was going to say, that's surprising if they don't get a flag there.
Yep.
And that may not even be running into the kicker. That looks like a roughing.
Roughing the kicker, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And the disparity is, it's running into the kicker is you just nick them, right? You make a mistake and that's 5 yards. But that roughing the kicker is a big one and an automatic 1st down. As you can see here, he goes to block it and just completely takes the kid out. Great job by the punter staying in your position so that he can run into you, and give a little acting job there too. Okay, there's the flag. We can get up.
That's one of the bigger plays in the first half.
Yeah, huge. Huge. Right, you get all these penalties, and they push you back after a big gain on 1st down, and then you throw the punt away and get it all back with a mistake by the Shamrocks.
Yeah, the pass from Bile to Semp to get him down to the 1-yard line might have been the biggest play for Catholic Central. There was a huge number of plays made by Dion Brown on their scoring drive, and then that penalty right there.
I get on the edge and give him a chance to make another play.
Kreiderman sifting his way through. Somehow he came out of the back end of that power. Oh, he's bent over there by Gubernich. That looks like it hurt. Man, careful. And there's a flag.
Yeah, CC was holding him at the bottom of the pile. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
He came up kicking, and they're not going to allow that. That's a big mistake by Davison.
Yep.
Mental mistake. Now, I do understand at the bottom of those piles, some things go down that can't be mentioned on the air, but you have to keep your head and keep a cool head and make sure you don't retaliate, because the second guy is always the guy that gets called.
Well, Michael Baydoun had him right around the knees or so. He was at the bottom of the pile. He doesn't know what's happening at the top of that pile by the time Gubernich comes in and twists him around.
Yeah, he's furious.
And you know, because you've been at the bottom of those piles, right?
I understand completely how he feels, because they were definitely holding on a little longer than they needed to, but you cannot respond that way and cost your team a big penalty.
Yeah, many guys would look at it and say, you're threatening my ability to play at the next level here.
Offense, 15 yards. What's it, second down? Huh?
As you can see here, he stopped. This is eagle. This is good. Gubernich, you're taking him back and you're laying him down.
Yeah.
But after this is where the running back has a problem. Get off of my legs. You're still grabbing me and the play's over. He's trying to get up. Won't allow it. But the second guy, like I said, always gets caught.
That's a 15-yard flag.
Huge penalty. Right after you just gained 15 on the roughing.
Second down and 22. Brown rolls the pocket, gets a nice block, heaves it downfield, and that's out of bounds.
Uh-oh. Look out!
Bystander going to be slow to get up.
Yep. Oh, that snow's cold. Yeah. I'm just telling you.
It's also icy, you know. That hurts the lower back, my friend. You're a lot younger than I am, but I may not get up after that one. Davison, to say they breezed through their schedule might be a little bit of an understatement. The only team that really put up much of a fight was Grand Blanc in week 2.
And quite a fight, you know. Some late scores, you know, once the game's already in hand, and then they got them a chance to play them again the last time they were out, and kind of the same type of deal. So, breeze through is a little accurate.
I think the key word was might have put up.
Might. Operative word here is might.
Some trickery for Warren. Looks like he wanted to throw it. Instead, he's going to hold on to it, and he's going to be driven backwards. Good point of attack by Mohammed Jaffer.
Even though that play doesn't gain much, right, and it doesn't help you get a first down, these Davison football players are really coached up, right? You got a quarterback who hasn't ever played quarterback at this level, who doesn't make mistakes. He hasn't made a mistake yet, right? He's had opportunities to turn the ball over and try to force things, and he hasn't done it. You give a reverse to your receiver, slot back type of player, and give him the option to throw, and usually guys want to throw that football. He doesn't do it. He gets what he can, and they punt it away. Great job of coaching these guys up by the Davison staff.
Hopkins, who drew a roughing the kicker penalty last time he stepped back into punt formation, will do it again. They'll use as much time as they possibly can. And a timeout for Davison. Final timeout for Jake Weingartz and company. With a minute left to go in this opening half. A lot of experience on that Davison sideline in terms of coaching, Trevor Thompson. All right, we apologize for some of the technical difficulties.
You know, Shep, I think it's just Trevor just doesn't want to talk to you. I think he's like,
I hear you, but if Les Devin throws it to me, I'm not doing it.
I don't think that's true because he wished me a Merry Christmas earlier this year. Here's some of the head coaching experience that we were referring to for Davison. 3 former head coaches on their sideline. And the biggest difference for their program really has been having 7th and 8th grade learning at the middle school level to really make them sharp by the time those good coaches get a hold of them at the high school level. Hopkins turns on one. Semp bobbled it for a moment and then cradled it at the 5-yard line.
That entire play was an odyssey in itself. The snap on the ground, punter barely gets it. He gets it off, and then Semp bobbles the catch. I mean, that's a relief for both teams that play didn't end up way worse than it was.
Well, Davison is lucky CC didn't go for an all-out block, and Semp is fortunate because it took a friendly bounce back into his belly. Otherwise, Davison's 1st and goal from the 5, right?
Yeah, kind of misjudged it, right? You need to be back a little more so that you don't try to catch it like a pass, but more like a loaf of bread's being thrown to you with eyes and elbows together working to catch that football.
Stunned if CC does anything but run the football here, right? Jafer wrapped up right away. Middle linebacker Clark Hamilton continues to excel here today.
Yeah, he flew in there like he was hungry and like it's meat. He needed meat, and he just flies right through the middle of defense before the double team can even get to him. You can see that the offensive linemen for Catholic Central are trying to double the nose and get to the linebacker, but they just can't get there in time, and he is already making the tackle.
Not sure Catholic Central even has to snap the football again. They get the football to start the second half. So why take a chance? You'll be somewhat satisfied with a 7-7 tie. Davison, despite missing their all-state quarterback, has been all that of a state championship medal showing team and then some. And Catholic Central proving why they're undefeated. Both these defenses have been stellar so far here today. It's been tough sledding for the offenses. We're tied at 7 through a half of football. Let's send it to John Keating, Mickey York, and Rob Rubick in our Fox Sports Detroit Studio A. Gentlemen.
All right, Shep, thanks. Halftime there in Lapeer. Welcome inside our high school football OT studios. Mickey and I getting set to show highlights all across the state of Michigan after the game today on the OT. We'll give you a taste coming up here at halftime with live look-ins at Cass Tech and Belleville, as well as Detroit King and River Rouge.
But we also have Rob Rubick with us, who will join John and me after the game to break down all of today's games. Rube's knocking off the rust as well today. Look, hey, as we watched that first half, it really was a defensive struggle between these two teams. But I know you felt like maybe Davison left some points on the field in that first half.
No question. First of all, knocking the rust off when you're 60, there's a lot of rust. Yeah, I think Davison did. Their worst enemy has been 15-yard penalties in the first half. You get a little bit of field position and you hurt yourself. And I thought the last one was a little bit suspect. I think Kreiderman was just pulling his leg out of the pile. But that being said, you got to overcome that, Mick. You just can't allow yourself to beat yourself. When you're playing a good team like CC, and there's, getting yards is a difficult task. You cannot, when you get a 2nd down and 2 after Kreiderman has a good run, get a 15-yard penalty, which kicks you back. So if they a little more efficient in the second half, keep mixing the run. I think Jake Weingarts has to keep running the football. And if you're CC, you got to deal with Harrison Unger. You got to find a way to slow him down. You got the strip sack against Declan Biles. All being said, pretty good half. 7-7 football, and the weather is phenomenal.
More of that kind of brilliance and weather updates from Rob Rubick throughout halftime as our day unfolds here on Fox Sports Detroit. But first a break, and then we'll take you live to the titanic matchup between number 4 Cass Tech and number 6 Belleville, plus a little scoreboard watching from across these playoffs. Stay with us. You're watching the high school football game of the week here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Halftime in Lapeer between Davison and CC. That game tied at 7 in Belleville. The 6th-ranked hometown Tigers hosting the 4th-ranked Technicians of Cass Tech in their Division I regional final. That score currently 23-10 as they play in the 3rd quarter. And Rob, we've been watching this game and big plays being made across the board by both of these teams so far.
Yeah, Belleville really relying on the arm of Reed, the quarterback. They're moving it through the air, where Cass Tech Thomas Wilcher's team is trying to run the ball, be a little more physical, but a big turnover in the passing game deep in your own territory for a pick six, that's tough to overcome. You're up against a Belleville Tiger team, Mick, that can really, really move the ball up and down the field, even though they're a little bit light today with some of the guys not playing some of their Power 5 kids. But this is a really good offensive football team, and Cass Tech and Illaford making a mistake like that.
All right, Johnny Kane on the call there. Let's take you out to Belleville for a live look-in.
Great individual effort, and that is a huge swing of momentum for this Belleville defense. And again, up here in the press box at Belleville, the stand's starting to shake. Small crowd in attendance to witness this regional final, but making a lot of noise. It's a team that felt like it had an opportunity to go win a state championship at the beginning of the season, but the beginning of the season was a long time ago. Jonathan Brewer on for the point after. Little low liner splits it. 12-point advantage for the home team Tigers.
All right, complete highlights from Belleville and Cass Tech coming up after the game on the OT. But up next, a special tribute to a special part of the MHSAA. If you've enjoyed high school athletics for the last 3 decades, there's a really good chance John Johnson played a part of it. Our story next.
First blood in this game to Detroit Catholic Central, and then Deion Brown with a touchdown pass for Davison to tie it up. That's where we stand, 7-7 in a Division I regional final being played at Lapeer. Welcome back. There is a most interested spectator for the game that we're presenting today, and not just this game, all the games. And whom does he want to see win? A simple answer here, us, all of us. Not just how the games are presented, that they are presented at all. You may not know John Johnson, but you should, especially now as he's called it a career. Events like these, a glorious gathering of people, don't just happen. And the dreams don't belong to just the kids who play on these stages. But you take some of the chance out of the dream with weeks of preparation, or in the case of John Johnson, years of it. He's had a fancy title of Communications Director with the Michigan High School Athletic Association, which has grown to include broadcast properties, but that's just because worrywart didn't look so great on a business card. Oh, and he worried. It became an art form, but because he worried, things always seemed to run smoothly. John Johnson, JJ to all, has retired after 34 years helping Michigan's kids to be all they could. After a stint working with Bobby Knight at Indiana University, he was one of the first hires of MHSAA Executive Director Jack Roberts, and they figured out a lot of things together.
He excelled in telling stories. During the late 80s and early 90s, sportsmanship was our #1 concern. Sportsmanship was degrading in all levels of sports all across the country, and we wanted to change that, at least for Michigan and the high school level. And for a decade, late 80s, early 90s, John led the nation in telling the story about what to expect and demand in educational athletics.
When Jack Roberts hired John 3+ decades ago, he was the first person in the country to have the title of a state association communications director. So I think whenever you talk about John, that's where you have to start, that he was the first. And the role as it's evolved and it's grown, and as John has shaped that, 49 other states have followed.
If you watch these events, it became a parallel sport, a Waldo-esque search, because as the trophies of wooden mittens were conveyed, JJ was there, or over there. Some people leave a mark, And as JJ enters retirement, his will last for a long while.
Everywhere he went, they liked him. They loved him. At Indiana, too. Except I don't know if Bobby Knight loved him, but he definitely tolerated him, which is about the best you're going to get from Bobby Knight.
Well, because you got crazy coaches and parents, and then you got media people, bugging you. He always, he took a deep breath. He helped you what you needed to get help with. And he didn't really make you feel like you were infringing on his time.
What I appreciate most about working with John Johnson, and I've done so for the last 20 years or so, is his appreciation and love for all sports in the state of Michigan. Not just the ones that garnered the most headlines or drew the most airtime like football and basketball. All sports for boys and girls.
I always remember, is everything all right? Do you have everything you need? Because I would like to go home. It's a long weekend. And he would double check and he would say, thanks, John. And the thanks wasn't big enough. It was, I could give him a hug for all the help that he would give us.
There's all these great stories. You just got to look for them, and they're there. And normally it's with the guys who would do the day-to-day grind. And John has, relationships with all the people in broadcast and all the people in media throughout the state. So he uncovers all those neat little nuggets that you find out throughout the year.
His legacy is that he wanted everybody to feel like they were just as important as the next.
Those who give back to others are not alone in that gift because there's a sacrifice made at home. Time is our most precious gift. And all the hours that JJ has worked around all the schools and all the sports and all the games has taken him away from the Johnson family, which has reached the grandchildren phase now. And wife Susie has had her share of health issues along the way.
I knew I was sick when I got sick. I knew things were not good. I don't know quite how to explain it. We just added it in.
He is loyal to a fault, and he loves my mom like no other. In that way, he is my greatest role model. And just seeing him kind of step up into that role and really not miss a beat, it's been hard. But he has done just such a fantastic job just making sure she remains comfortable, making sure, he's by her side, and he's there for her whenever she needs him.
My son now last Christmas asked for a selection of ties so he could be like Pa.
Oh.
And a couple of years ago, we were able to be at the court at Breslin, and my dad was out there playing with him on the court. And it's just a side people don't get to see a lot, but he just is playful and encouraging, and he's always talking to them about their dreams, and I just think it's beautiful.
We love you, Grandpa. I love you, Grandpa. I love you, Grandpa.
It is different for the Johnsons now, and for the state's athletic family as well. You get used to seeing someone or hearing that voice because it was ever present. And sure, it might be a little highly strung from time to time, but that's what made JJ JJ, and that's why he's been the best of the best for a few generations of coaches and kids. The people in the back are why it works so well up front, and that's never been truer than the career of John Johnson. His feet can go up now as his heart rate comes down, but he'll truly be missed, which is the sign of a great storied career. All of us at Fox Sports Detroit wish you the best in the next chapter of your life. Enjoy retirement, and we say thanks to JJ. His title now is just Dad and Grandpa. We appreciate all of his efforts over so many years. The first half included this hookup from Declan Bile to Owen Semp. It's out of Bile's quarterback sneak. Davison answered, it's 7-up at halftime of our Game of the Week.
All right, Davison Catholic Central tied at 7 at halftime. Meanwhile, checking in on River Rouge and Martin Luther King. Notable as we take a look at some of the other notable games in Division I and Division II here this afternoon. Let's take a live look at Evan Stockton on the call.
Number 6, Lynn Weichel again.
Lynn Weichel, Detroit News All-Detroit team this year.
Crusader, first down.
It's been interesting because we didn't know if the season was going to come back, so all the publications, your M-Lives, your Denton Newses, your Freeps, came out with their end-of-the-year awards, and the season's still going on. So it's cool to say these guys have accolades. Moore zips a pass left, and he's got it caught. Good solid gain for King on first down. That's Chauncey Willis Jr. who makes the catch.
Pass is complete.
Second down coming up.
Willis with the catch for the Crusaders.
Dante Moore starting to feel it.
4 from midfield.
That Rouge D starting to feel the heat for really the first time today. Second down 4. Moore throws, and it's incomplete. Rolling right, a little bit low, missed Mercier. And now it's third down. Rouge has had it once offensively in the first half. They punted. Kings had it once, they scored. And now they've got it again. Third down 4. Rouge led 22-7 at half. And a big third down coming up here. Moore dropping back. Time to throw. Loading up and taking a shot. Incomplete.
Yeah, so I'll be on after.
And for the moment, we don't.
All right, we'll keep an eye on River Rouge and Martin Luther King. But up next, back to our high school football game of the week between Davison and Catholic Central with Matt Shepard and Devin Gardner.
We knew both these offenses and defenses were capable. Catholic Central and Davison, you see the numbers, Devin Gardner. Anything jump out at you besides Davison's ability to control the time of possession?
Yeah, without this score, it's going to look like the Davison is dominating this football game. But it is 7-7, and the Catholic Central is doing a good job of staying in the game without being able to have the ball much.
Trevor Thompson is with Jake Weingartz. He's the head coach at Davison. His thoughts on the first half and adjustments for half number 2. Trev?
All right. Coach, 7-7 at the half. What are your thoughts, and is this the way you'd like it to unfold for your team with half the game gone by?
No, absolutely not. We're playing sloppy on offense. We've been inside the red zone or inside the 34 times, and we have 7 points on the board. So, you know, the holdings, the late stuff after the whistle is, I mean, that's the worst half of football we've played all year. So, unless we get things fixed on offense, which we're gonna, it'll be a tough second half. Defense is playing great, but again, we got to limit mistakes. I mean, we're just simply shooting ourselves in the foot, and that's it.
You had an opportunity to kick a field goal. Why'd you pass it up on fourth down? What went into that decision?
Yeah, we had a nice play dialed up. Got a little bit of pressure. Our back was wide open on the perimeter. Should have been a touchdown again. Shot ourselves in the foot. So we got to clean it up on offense now.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys, thanks.
His team tied at 7 with Dan Anderson and Catholic Central. We'll hear from the Catholic Central head coach on what you do to stop Dion Brown. He's been a magic man in the first half for Davison in a tie game.
Well, Coach, we're all square at the half. What are your thoughts on the way your team performed in the first half?
I think we played pretty well. I mean, you're talking about a very good team out here, you know, that we're playing against. And I think we made some mistakes. You know, it's we haven't played in 6 months, so it's kind of like a first game. You know, you're going to see first game mistakes. And that's what we have. And I think you have 2 really good teams out here that are battling it out.
How much rust do you think affected the first half of this game for both sides?
I think it affected both teams. You know, I think you know, they're having issues sometimes with the quarterback and, you know, being out, and so I think it's like a first game for most of us.
What was the biggest adjustment you talked to your team about during the half, and what can we expect to see as the second half unfolds?
Just relaxing, and you know, relax because they got all, you know, flustered and fired up, and they just need to relax and play. You know, don't worry about things. It'll all happen. So we'll be ready.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Trev, thanks very much. We always like to see the adjustments made in football at the half. What adjustments, Devin, do you think need to be made for both teams?
Yeah, I think that Davison, they need to continue to do what they're doing. But when they get in that red zone, you heard the coach talk about how they got into the red zone 4 times. 4 times and only came away with 7 points. That's not something they're accustomed to doing, and they need to fix that. CC needs to get going, right? They had some explosive plays, but after that 1 touchdown drive, they haven't had a bunch of positive plays, and their quarterback, this young man, is going to have to be the one to do it.
Well, the question is, how effective can he be? You see the glove on his right hand because of an injured finger in that hand. Reports are that he has torn ligaments in his throwing fingers or finger, and now he'll have to adjust. He's going to try and give it a go, and they need him to give it a go. Not much experience behind Declan Bile, who was called up as a freshman to the varsity.
Shep, Declan is a go-getter in every sense of the word, and he's been waiting on this opportunity his entire life. He's going to suck it up, and he's going to make plays as much as he can to help his team win the football game.
See how his offense will get on the field after a nice return.
One of my favorite players, Brady Blakita, gets a great return, and he may be the guy that they lean on if Declan weren't able to go at the quarterback position. He gets this ball. You haven't seen a bunch of returns because both teams kicked in the back of the end zone, but he gets this ball outside the numbers, and he turns on the burners to get all the way to the 50-yard line. Very good job by Blakita, who's a young guy who they're very excited about. Hasn't made a lot of splash this year because of the weapons that he has and the older guys, but he'll be a guy they'll lean on next year and maybe sometime in this game.
Just a sophomore. Blakita puts him in really good shape at the 50. Bile will turn and give. Let's see what Jafer can do on the ground. Broke 1 tackle and then muscles his way into Davison territory.
Clark Hamilton is flying through the line of scrimmage, and CC is going to have to find a way to get to that second level and stop him from being so aggressive or get into that play action game, because he has his nose down and he is flying and stopping all run plays in the backfield.
Yeah, that middle linebacker for Davison making the defensive calls has been all over the place today. You see Bile with the glove on his throwing hand. How much will it affect him? Handoff and inside give. But going absolutely nowhere is Michael Ramirez. Ramirez more of a tight end. One of the captains of this offense.
It looks like CC tried to catch Davison by surprise, right? Haven't given him the ball much all year. I don't even know if he has a carry. He gets a carry there, and they are not fooled at all. Stops them before he could even get started.
Boy, this front 7 of Davison with Watkins and Sellers and Henderson and Unger and Harriman and Hamilton and Kish have been dynamite, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They played really well to this point in this game, and they're the reason that they aren't down more.
3rd down and 7. Throwing situation for Bile. Handles the low snap. Steps up into the pocket, and Unger's got him. They cannot stop number 10 in red.
You're going to see him come from the top of your screen. They're going to have to dedicate a running back. Empty's not going to be an option for CC because that young man can't be blocked one-on-one by the tackles of CC. They need to make sure they get some help for the tackles to make sure he can't just continue to disrupt every single play that CC has in the passing game. Deion Brown is back deep, looking to make a splash early in this second half. Best athlete on the football team has really found his groove in this game.
Menser will punt it away.
Fair catch.
And a fair catch made inside the 15 by Deion Brown. No,
they
it was
wanted
not.
him to make
they
a fair
wanted
catch.
him to make the fair catch.
But love the mics on the field. You can hear, hey, call a fair catch, kid. But this young man wants to make a play. Good job catching, making sure he doesn't turn it over.
Jake Weingartz, or Kyle Weingartz told us, Jake Weingartz rather, told us about his defense and his ability to handle the CC personnel, Devin. He said, we see a lot of 10 personnel, so we should be able to defend them a little bit easier, even though they're physical up front. What do you think he meant by that, and what does 10 personnel mean?
one back, 0 tight ends, which is they're going to spread it out and have receivers all over the field. But they think they have the athletes to play with that type of offense. They say they've seen it all year, and they're ready for it. And I think that's why CC is having some trouble, because a lot of teams weren't ready for it all year, and they're going to have to get that ball in the air and make some splash plays for them to win this game against Davison.
Weingart's very familiar with this building here. He was a former head coach at Lapeer East. And offsides against Catholic Central.
Those are plays you can't have if you're looking to try to win a regional final football game. Before the play even starts, no motions, nothing, and you're offsides.
I think that's the first time I've seen an offensive center march off the penalty against the opposition.
COVID year.
C.J. Brady just picked up the football, moved it 5 yards, and they're ready to go on a 1st and 5. Toss sweep. Kreiderman fumbled it for a moment and out of bounds.
At home, you're probably wondering, how is that not a fumble and why is it an incomplete pass? Because when he pitches it, he's going forward, right? He's pitching it forward, and it's probably by design so that if something like this were to happen, that they don't get a fumble, and it's better for them to have an incomplete pass. Great design by Davison, and good job by the referees recognizing what Davison is doing and not calling that a fumble.
Great point by you. 2nd down and 5 for Jake Weingart's and Davison's offense. Brown with a give. Kreiderman right up the belly for a 1st down scamper. Good job by the big fellas up front, huh?
That hole is opening up and parting like the Red Sea because of the threat of Deion Brown pulling that ball out. Let it run here. 26 is going to get this ball. You got 2 pullers in front, and he is going to go and doesn't get touched until he's almost 15 yards down the field. That is an impressive play and a great job of designing a play to get the ball in your best player's hands and get him loose.
1st and 10, toss sweep right side. Kreiderman cuts it up. Broke another tackle, spins away from another, and he's into Catholic Central territory.
This toss sweep that they're reading, let me reiterate, they are reading it. The quarterback is taking a second. He's looking at the end. If the running back can outflank him right away, he's pitching it, and they are really, really running this play well.
It's a heck of a run.
It's a great job getting a little more. Look for a sprint out this way.
Instead, it's the right side, but still more positive yardage. We talk about the guy carrying the football a lot, and for good reason. Kreiderman's done a nice job. But a lot of credit goes to Peyton Pizzala.
Yeah.
The H-back, sort of like a tight end fullback mix, has been outstanding and leading the way and getting that 2nd level, allowing the tailbacks to get to the 3rd level.
Yeah, a lot of time when they're pulling offensive linemen, they're pulling Pizzala right behind them and getting 2 pullers into action, and he's almost an extension of the offensive line at this point.
2nd down and 7 for Davison on their 1st possession of the 2nd half.
Very soft edge right here. Can easily outflank the defense.
Brown gives to Kreiderman. Cut it back up. Fumbled it.
Oh, no. That ball's out, and that is a CC football.
It is. It's Catholic Central football.
Those are the things that you can't have if you're Davison. It's going to be close, but there's no replay. Let's see if that ball's actually out or if he's down. He's down, but there's no replay in high school football. As far as the referees are concerned, that ball is out, and that's why you always want to hold on to the ball. It's a bang-bang play where it looks like his knee touches and it looks like the ball may be coming out, but in high school football, whatever's called on the field, that's what's going to have to stay. There's no review. That's a tough break for Davison's offense, who looked like they were going to start to roll.
Bruno Gubernich forced it. Gavin Willard recovered it. His 2nd fumble recovery of the year, and CC's defense makes the 1st big play of the 2nd half.
Big momentum shift. Try to go to the air here with a big shot.
Bile will do just that with a glove on hand. Doesn't affect it at all. He had a nice big arm downfield, incomplete, but a flag on the play.
It's usually going to be an area of a pass interference, I would think, unless it's here in the line of scrimmage that they got the flag.
Didn't seem like he was bothered by the glove at all. That was a nice tight spiral.
I mean, I made it clear he's a go-getter, and he is not going to allow just a ligament damage or whatever he has going on with his hand to stop him from performing this
Holding
game.
on the defense, that penalty's declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Right, so we're looking like, why is the ball so much further from Cam, and why is he facing the wrong way? Because he's held, but they declined that one and get the bigger penalty, which is going to be a roughing the passer. Yeah, that's extremely late. Good call by the referees. It's encouraging to see that they're not bothered by this. He's not bothered. Blakita's in at quarterback. Looks like it's going to be a wildcat run here.
It is. Got the edge. Nice cutback for the sophomore, who tumbles his way inside the 30-yard line.
Shep, I don't know if you remember or not, but I told you they like this young guy, and he is talented. They put him in a wildcat situation and gets on the outside. Very good job by the offensive line and the receivers, sealing the edge and allowing Blakita to get around. Great job. He gets the edge pretty easily, sticks his foot in the ground, gets vertical, makes the guy miss, and then I love the fight to get extra yardage. You're a 10th grader. Not so many 10th graders are getting a chance to contribute on this team. It's a senior-led football team. Great job by Blakita taking advantage of an opportunity.
Bile back in at the helm on a 1st and 10 inside the Davison 30. Swings it out. Dursa tugged down shy of the 25 by Warren.
Dursa has not gotten a chance to get going. They're going to have to find ways to give him the ball. That's one right there. But they need to find ways to give him the ball down the field because he's a talented football player, not only on offense but on defense as well.
Dursa and Bile really good friends, and you could tell on the connection, the amount of times they've connected so far this year. And Brady Blakita back in at quarterback on a 2nd down and 8. Dursa committed to Saginaw Valley.
It's going to be some type of read option here, but I'm telling you, Blakita can throw the ball, so Davison going to have to play honest while he's in the game.
Instead, he'll keep it. And squeezed inside the 25 to the 24. Still one of those situations, if you're the Davison defense and Blakita's in at quarterback, he has yet to throw a pass this year. So you're going to make him throw the football.
Yes, force him to throw. That's a great deal, but make sure that you're disciplined in that because he can throw the ball.
Catholic Central does have a very effective field goal kicker in Charlie Menser, too. He's made 6 field goals on the year, just in case they don't convert on 3rd and 7 here. They're going to run it. Jafer, nowhere. Boy, a nice job by the freshman linebacker. That's Carter Harriman, number 9. What a job to beat a guy who's going to play at the Division I level. He beat Gubernich and made the tackle.
Tavion Warren also on the play. Just stood him right up. Boom! You don't see that too much from Mo Jafer. He's a stout, small guy. And for you to get underneath him, that's a tough task, and you stand him up. Very good job by Warren stopping that play before it even started.
Warren's been good offensively and defensively.
Yes,
Number 3 in red, 4th and 12. And
has their lone touchdown.
Catholic Central will go for it here on 4th down. Bile from the pocket, steps up, has time, and delivers, but it's dropped by Dursa.
Whoa. We talked about they need to get Dursa involved, and he has a gift for a 1st down and absolutely drops it. That's got to be a heartbreaker for Catholic Central. Look for Declan to go back to him at some point just to make sure that his head is still in this game because that's a big drop.
Yeah, that's a 1st down throw right there. Instead, they turn it over on downs, and Davidson's offense back on the field. Hockey fans, the NHL and your Detroit Red Wings are back. Make sure to tune in to Fox Sports Detroit next Thursday, the 14th, for the Red Wings season opener. That's next Thursday, the 14th. Carolina's Hurricanes are at Little Caesars Arena, 6:30, Fox Sports Detroit. Really excited about some of the young players that the Red Wings have now, and some of the veteran leaders that they've added as well. John Merrill, for example, Bobby Ryan, for example.
How exciting is to have all sports back?
Just needed it.
I know you love it, Chef.
desperately.
You're a sports aficionado,
Yeah,
if you will.
yeah, I don't know about that, but I can't wait to watch him, that's for sure. Kreiderman right up the gut. Now remember, he fumbled last time. Really important. He was a quarterback. How important was it to regain that trust, that enthusiasm for the guy who may have made a mistake last time he touched the football?
I mean, it's huge, right? You know, and to this point in this game, he's had 2 mistakes, right? Had the 15-yard penalty, and then he has the fumble. You got to make sure, because he's one of your best players, you got to make sure that his head stays in this game so that you can use him in any effort during the rest of the game.
Deion Brown has been their best player on offense. An inside give to Kreiderman, feeling his way, and that extra effort gets him a first down run.
Shep, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think he's fine. After those 2 runs, looks like he's forgotten about the fumble and the 15-yard penalty, and he is ready to roll.
Like the way he runs the football.
Coming off a little ginger after that run.
Offensive line's done a nice job, though. Isaac Norton, Lucas Edgar, C.J. Brady, Zane Richardson, and Yusuf Dakuli. Multiple year starters up front. That's huge. Helps to have a ring on your hand as well. 1st and 10. Toss sweep. Warren has a crease and a stiff arm. Spinning his way into CC territory on a dynamite first down carry.
I mean, CC has not found an answer. And once again, the defensive end continues to crash, and they don't have enough leverage on the outside to stop this play from working. Outside leverage already, and he has no one to stop him. He gives a nice stiff arm to Dursa there. CC's going to have to find an answer for this outside toss sweep, but the answer be to move the end outside, but then you open up for Deion Brown up the middle.
Warren again up the middle, dragging tacklers. You don't lose a lot between Kreiderman and Warren, do you?
No, not much at all. Warren has been good. You talked about he's been good on offense and defense, has their lone touchdown, and he continues to impress.
Boy, that stiff arm he had on that last carry. I mean, we're not talking Derrick Henry stiff arm, but nobody does that.
Not quite.
It's pretty darn good, though.
But it wasn't bad.
I'll take it. From the 41.
Once again, a very soft edge, outflanked already by these 2 offensive players.
Kreiderman right up the gut. They're just winning the line of scrimmage, aren't they, Dev?
Yes, they are. Just moving those royal blue helmets out of the way.
Brought down by Shamrocks, number 37, Corso, and number 23, Ewald.
This time it's Kreiderman bouncing to the outside and then cutting it up inside the numbers past the 25. Another first down carry and another solid running attack on this drive for Davison. They've been doing it all afternoon. Well, Frank Tanana and Mike Martin, 2 friends of ours. Frank Tanana was not just a great Major League Baseball pitcher, he was an all-state basketball player. Tim Thomas, who won a championship with the Boston Bruins as their goalie. Barry Stokes, former Baltimore Raven. Tim Thomas also played a little bit for the Detroit Vipers, for those of you who remember the International Hockey League being played at the Palace of Auburn Hills during a stint. Kreiderman, right side. Dragged backwards. Winner of this gets either Saline or Rockford. North Farmington, that's a stunner right there. Traverse City Central can flat out score, but the Raiders are up by 4 at the break. Muskegon Mona Shores leading East Lansing by a couple of touchdowns. Cass City pitching a shutout right now against Ithaca. Yellow Jackets yet to get on the board. 2nd down and 8, and what could be the final play of the 3rd. Brown wants to throw, welcomes the pressure, dumps it off to Kreiderman. He's got some blockers and stumbles his way down to the 20-yard line or so.
The screen game is something that you really need to practice, and it's interesting that they are executing it fairly well with a new quarterback. Didn't get a whole bunch on that play, but the screen game's been good for him all day. Deion Brown does a great job of eyes to the right, getting the linebackers out of there, and then flipping and getting it to the running back. I mean, that is very impressive for a guy that hasn't played quarterback, because the mechanics of running a screen aren't something you just come in and start doing. Those are things you got to practice.
Helps to have that offensive line paving the way for a solid running game. That running attack and the defense for the Cardinals has been impressive all afternoon. They're hoping to break a 7-7 tie when we begin the fourth. Don't go away. The exciting final quarter in our high school game of the week is right around the corner.
John Keating with another game break back to Cass Tech and Belleville. Let me tell you about the Tigers, already up big, getting bigger. Junior defensive back Charles Wilson with a pick. 92 yards to the house. The second defensive touchdown of the day for Belleville. They're rolling at home 43-16 as they play in the fourth. Headed to the fourth in Lapeer, where it's 7 apiece. And we get you back to Shep and Devin.
Yeah, Keats, this one a lot closer than that one. And some socially distanced fans, I suppose. Either
got
that
the right
or
jacket on, I can tell you that.
Spoken like a true Wolverine. Yeah. I don't know how much of the action you can really
it's
see
a
there.
Terrible
though, right?
seat, but that's a nice jacket. But
See,
that's a terrible seat.
But the good thing is the MHSAA did allow fans in the stadium, okay? 125 per side. He just didn't make the short list.
He's
That's
very
the
dedicated.
That's
I love
it.
He's very dedicated.
So
Terrible seat. Can't see a thing. The scoreboard's in the way. He might need to at least scoot over.
He wants to see some live sports.
But
I
that
don't
jacket.
blame him.
But that jacket. Very nice.
It's keeping him warm. Right. Here we go to start the fourth. An important 3rd down and 6 for Davison. On the ground, Kreiderman. To the 15. And then driven backwards.
At halftime, this is where I said that Davison needed to improve. And this is where their coach wanted them to improve. They're inside the 20, inside the 30-yard line again in the red zone. They need to come away with points here. And I don't think their coach is looking for 3. Another 4th down.
It's only 1. They only need 1 to move the chains.
They look like they're going to go quarterback sneak here with Deion Brown. See if he can find a crease. And he does.
Got it. You saw the numbers in the 3rd quarter. 83 rushing yards in the 3rd quarter alone for Davison. Knowing it's 4th and 1, of course you go for it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with the way your offensive line is performed.
And the way your defense is playing.
Yeah.
You're not really threatened by Catholic Central's offense at this moment, especially if they'd have to go almost 90 yards.
Yeah, if you're looking at saying, hey, you got to go 85, 90 yards, bring it on, right?
I'll take that every day of the week if I'm Davison.
I think they're going to measure this, Dev.
Official timeout on the field for the measurement.
They did not give him a very favorable spot. Let's see what it is.
Got it.
The game of inches. The game of inches. Gotta love football.
I mean, by a half a chain link he got.
I mean, I think it's by the hair on his chinny chin is he got.
Oh.
First and 10 Cardinals.
Deion Brown in his quarterbacking debut at the varsity level has been really impressive.
Not bad at all. He's playing very well and has his team on the verge of putting 7 more on the board.
Offensive line has been outstanding. Off play action. Rolling, throwing. Pizzala's got it. Sniffing the end zone. Boy, what a block he got, but he might be a little shy.
It's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown, Pizzala.
Once again, Davison goes back to what they've done the best all day in the passing game, getting Deion Brown Jr. on the edge. He gives a nice little soft toss and lets Pizzala do the rest. Great block on the edge by his teammate to help him get into the end zone.
Right there, Flowers, Jalen Flowers had that key block to give Pizzala that extra 1.5 yards for the score. Second throwing touchdown of the day for Dion Brown, and Davison has their first lead of the afternoon. And a blocked extra point.
Snap was extremely high. The holder had to almost stand up to catch it and tried to get it down. A little too late. The big guy, number 75, Drew Benrich, in there to block it.
5th block kick of the year for Catholic Central special teams, but not before Peyton Pizzala scores his 2nd receiving touchdown of the year and gives Davison a 6-point lead.
Welcome back to Lapeer, where Davison has a 13-7 lead over CC here in the 4th quarter, and all of these guys are able to play in this playoff game today and pursue a championship because the Michigan Health and Human Services, along with the MHSAA, has agreed to have rapid testing 3 times a week for all the players on non-consecutive days. The good news is nobody tested positive today, and nobody has tested positive leading up to today's game. They did have a health screen today. Everybody checked out. Everybody's able to participate, but that is the reason they're able to compete for the championships here in 2020, the new rapid screening test that all schools are taking part in here. Matt?
I love that, Trev, because all these players, all these student athletes holding each other accountable through group texts, making sure none of them put the season in jeopardy. That's why they were all able to get through that testing with no problems. A little bit of a problem on that kickoff for Davison. Catholic Central watches it sail out of bounds.
Yeah, that drives coaches crazy when that ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff.
It's kind of like an unforced error in other sports,
it's
right?
just like jumping off sides and all those different things.
Kick went out of bounds, kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Detroit Catholic Central.
Believe it or not, even though that's pretty good field position, it's much better than when Bakita returned it on the previous kickoff return to the 50-yard line.
And Catholic Central could not take advantage there. Let's see what they can do here. Davison showing pressure. They're going to run it. Hard run, although it came loose late. That's Evan Hager. Bounce back up into his belly. Ground caused that anyway.
Yeah, they're not really using Hager's speed to their advantage. The ball comes out. That's a great job by the linebacker, making sure that he rakes that ball out. And it's our guy again.
Warren, yeah. Tavion Warren.
Tavion Warren making another play. Almost getting that ball back. And that would have been devastating.
Oh, Hager's going the other way because Unger, best defensive player on the field here today, makes another huge play for Davison. Another TFL, a tackle for loss for Harry Unger.
Here he is right here, making a play inside, getting across the tackle space. I talked earlier, you need to dedicate more people to him. He's earned that right, but you continue to block on one-on-one, and he's stopping plays on the backside, coming from the backside. He's stopping all of the outside runs, and he's rushing the passer. You're going to have to find a way to deal with him if you want to stay in this game. If you're Catholic Central.
Jake Weingart's told us Unger becoming more of a leadership role, taking on more of a leadership role, leading by example. CC sets up their screen. Good move to the outside, Mohammed Jafer.
My goodness. Tavion Warren absolutely leveled Jafer on the sideline, and he is down. It's a well-designed play. They set up the screen. You got big hogs in front, and Jafer looks like he's gonna take it, and boom! Tavion Warner just unloads a very clean hit, gets his helmet out of there with his shoulder. That's football, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's a heck of a job by Warren to make sure it's not only hard, but it's also clean.
Yeah. You got a Davison player on the
sideline
ground as well.
Right.
Looks like it's number 34.
Well, that would be Pizzala.
Yeah.
That would be Peyton Pizzala. Don't want to speculate too much which number that is. We can't see right now. We do know that they're attending to Mohammed Jafer for Catholic Central. And it was Pizzala who's up for Davison, as is Jafer for Catholic Central. And he will get a little bit of assistance walking across the field to his sideline.
Very good to see him get up and walk off on his own power. That was a violent hit. Happy to see Mo Jafer get up and get off the field.
Yeah, so is everybody in the stadium. Meanwhile, that was a big play for Catholic Central.
Yes, it was.
It was enough or close to enough for a first down.
Very close. Now, earlier we saw that they didn't go for it, but this is getting late in this game.
Yeah.
The clock may not be on your side because you haven't been able to get a lot of points and get a lot of yards.
Been moving the football.
You haven't even crossed the 50 in this half. You know, it looks like they're going to need to go for this to make sure that they try to get points, stay in the game.
Need to get to the 45.
You see all the coaches putting their hands over their head with their muscles. That's, hey, let's go back to the old CC. Let's pound this football and make sure we get a first down here. Heavy personnel, bring in extra linemen, whatever you need to do, fullbacks, to make sure we have a chance at getting this first down.
Yeah, meanwhile, Davison with some late substitutions.
Bringing in their big guys as well.
Well, they call a timeout. They want a timeout. They understand, like we all do, how important this play truly is. If Catholic Central makes it, they keep the drive alive. If they're turned away, Davison takes over at the 45-yard line, leading 13-7. Biggest play of the afternoon coming up on a 4th and 1 when we return.
Mickey York with the game break. A great game going on between Martin Luther King and River Rouge. King down 22, or down by 8 when Dante Moore finds Rashad Wilson for the 32-yard touchdown score. The 2-point conversion was good to tie the game at 30. Rouge currently driving with under 2 minutes to play in that one. Matt Shepard.
Dante Moore's the real deal, Mickey York for sure. Here it's 13-7. Davison leads down to the sidelines with our Trevor Thompson. Trev?
Matt, of course, no one wants to see anybody injured in this game, but I'll tell you what, as Jafer laid on the sidelines here at Davison, the team was certainly revved up by the hit, and not only that, but the fans behind them. All the momentum seemed to go to the Davison side after that hit, that big hit that laid Jafer out. It's a good thing he's back up and healthy, but it did swing some momentum, I felt, on the sideline.
4th and 1, CC's not going to get it.
Not even close.
Will Watkins made sure of it, turning the Shamrocks away. They're 0 for 3 on 4th downs, and they give it over on downs.
I don't love the call. You see Davison all barreled in to the middle of the defense. You have to have the best call in your playbook to get this 4th down conversion. That can't be the best play you have in your playbook to call.
Well, let's play devil's advocate for a moment then. The best defensive players for Davison today have been on the edge. Unger and Watkins. If that's not the play, what is?
I think you go to what you are, right? You're a spread team. Allow your quarterback to make a throw on the outside. Spread them out and try to make a throw that way. Obviously, running the ball up the middle or to the outside has not been conducive to success thus far in this game, and it shows right there on that 4th down. Great job out of Davison defense.
Catholic Central needs their defense to step forward here. Kreiderman on a 1st down carry all the way inside the 35. He has been a man-child so far here today.
It's going to be very important that CC gets a quick 3 and out here, right? So they are allowed to keep their 3 timeouts so they can use them on maybe a game-winning drive. Man, when you're down and you're looking at that clock, it looks like it's going so fast.
Yeah. The running game for Davison has been impressive today. Kreiderman again thrown back after getting to the 34. This is a CC defense that gives up just 82 yards per game on the ground. Davison had 83 in the third quarter alone.
Wow. Coming into this game, Coach Anderson knew this was going to be the toughest test that CC would have faced all year, and it's being put on full display. Let's see if this defense and Braden Corser can stand tall and get the ball back for their offense one more time.
Third and 1.
I'm putting Deion Brown on the edge here. Give him a run-pass option.
It's Warren. First down and more.
And
that's
a face mask.
Face mask, yep.
Just a little more.
Colonel ball carrier number 3, Warren, and we look to have a flag on the field.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
It's a great job getting in, and you see those two pullers getting around and getting up, including Pizzala, and then he's just grasped to the face mask. They're probably going to get him just a 5-yard when he lets it go, but you cannot grab inside the face mask of the helmet.
A 15-yard march for Davison's offense. All the way to the Catholic Central 14.
If I'm Davison, I'm doing everything I can to try to keep the ball in the hands of Deion Brown. Has been so good for us all game.
Instead, it's Kreiderman. He's been really good. All the way down to the 11. Second down and 7 now for Davison. And Catholic Central has to look at that clock too, Devin. Under 7 minutes now.
Yeah.
Davison's
doing a good job of bleeding it out and make sure they snap the ball with little to no time left on the play clock.
He's going to throw. Brown underneath. Pizzala again. All the way down to the 1-yard line. That play has worked 3 times here today.
Yeah.
Just a slight rollout and feed the H-back, and he has done the rest.
Gonna fake, get on the outside like we talked about, gets the ball to him, and he does the rest. If this was college football, that'd be a touchdown. He rolled on top of the CC defender into the end zone, so he's not down. But there's no replay, so they're gonna have to go quarterback sneak to try to get in the end zone.
Love to see them rewarding Peyton Pizzala. He's done such a nice job of paving the way for Kreiderman and Warren in the ground attack. And now getting a little reward here. Already 1 touchdown catch.
Yeah, he's done a lot of the dirty work. The dirty work that nobody wants to do. He's pulled around, become a lineman, knocked guys off the ball, and now he's being rewarded with pass catches, getting in the end zone regularly.
They actually mark it down at the 2-yard line. Davison takes the timeout. It'll be first and goal for Davison, who leads by 6 when we return after this.
Mickey York with the game break, taking you back to King in River Rouge. After King tied it at 30, River Rouge drove down the field in the final 2 minutes. Tayshawn Massey from 25 yards out gives Rouge the 3-point lead. 4 seconds remain in this game. King with the ball. Final highlights and score coming up on the overtime. Matt?
That's a straight-on kick right there. That's a Tom Dempsey. That's a Chester Markle. That is a Fred Cox type kick, isn't it? Mark Mosley. And they convert.
How about a team that doesn't kick extra points? They go for 2.
Amazing.
They kick a field goal to perceivably win the game.
How many of those names that I just reeled off do you remember? How many?
5, 6, carry me to 4, 0. There are 0.
George Blanda. Okay, never mind. First and goal for Davison.
Carry the 4, 0.
Brown under center. He'll take it himself. Stood up. Let's see how they unpile.
Looks like he got in there, Shep. But let's see what the referees say.
Brown on the key for the Cardinals.
Looks like they'll mark him just shy.
Yeah, they desperately need to stop them from getting in this end zone. It's going to be tough because those quarterback sneaks have worked just fine, and they've run the ball so well. But CC needs a big play right here.
Yeah, running right behind C.J. Brady, the senior center, a 2-year starter. And again, they're content to take their time, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
River Rouge's final is in the books, beating Martin Luther King by 3. That surprised you at all?
Win. Big win by Corey Parker.
You thought it would be close, right?
Yeah, one of the best coaches that this high school football state has to offer. And they're going to go quick here.
Timeout. Davison.
Timeout, Cardinals.
Yeah, back to Coach Parker. One of the best coaches that the state has to offer. Always has his team prepared. Always has his team prepared. And doesn't surprise me that game went down to the wire. 2 very talented teams, 2 very talented quarterbacks on both sides, and Marion Robowski and Dante Moore. Dante Moore and King comes up short.
The winner of this one gets either Saline or Rockford. Take a look at Rockford did win. The Rams came back and beat Saline. Saline had a slim lead for a little bit. They advanced to the semifinals. The other semifinal clash is ready. West Bloomfield beat Romeo, and Belleville beat Cass Tech, to some people's surprise. So 1 remaining spot in the semifinals. And it's from this game right here. Trevor Thompson, it looks like Jake Weingartz and the Davison Cardinals are out of timeouts. How's he feel about that?
Guys, Coach Weingart's not happy with having to take that last time out. The substitution on the field burned a couple of extra seconds, forced him to take that last time out. Not happy about it, but we'll see if it pays off right here.
He'll be happy if they get in. That's all that matters. Brown under center, and now another stoppage.
False start.
Wow.
False start in the left tackle, it looks like.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
He is
Still
not going to
down.
be happy about this. Shep always talk to you about the football gods and how they don't like when they give you a gift on the inch-yard line, something like this. Bad things happen. Bad things happen. Now you're back 5 more yards. This is an opportunity for Detroit Catholic Central to try to get the ball back.
Too many penalties for Davison today.
Yeah. 8
I
guess
the only thing I might say to that, Dev, though, I mean, with the athlete that Deion Brown is, I don't know how much that should affect you. His opportunity to get outside the pocket remains the biggest threat. But I hear what you're saying. 2nd down and goal from inside the 1 is a much, you would think, easier situation than this one here.
But do you think they go back to the well again
Yes,
with
absolutely.
the outside, fake inside, go outside with Pizzala going on the edge?
Instead, it's Kreiderman. All the way back down to the 1.5, 2-yard line or so. It's 3rd down and goal now. I think the bigger thing is, and you know this because you're as a quarterback at the collegiate level, you're thinking 1 play ahead. Coaches are thinking 1 play ahead.
Yeah.
If I don't get it, what do I do on 4th down?
Do I try to kick a field goal?
Right.
Do I go for it?
You want a 2-possession game, right?
Absolutely, and I don't know what their kicking situation is. They haven't kicked all day.
Right.
And for CC, if I'm Davison, I trust that my defense is not going to allow CC to drive more than 90 yards to win the game. So I try to get in the end zone, and if I don't, I trust that, hey, this state championship defense that returned 10 of 11 starters, you're going to be able to stop these guys and get us this win.
That one touchdown drive for CC lasted 75 yards in 6 plays. This is 3rd down and goal from the 3. They mark it at the 3. Another flag.
Oh, no.
5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
I think they got him for a delay of game.
Self-imploding.
Yes. I talked to you about those football guys don't like that. They don't like it. Now that man right there does not like it as well.
Well, as a head coach, Jake Weingarten, he does a really good job of this, settling his guys down. He's an intense guy. He was a captain at Wayne State. He's just in his 3rd year, but he settles his guys down at the right time. Let's see what they do here with Brown and the athleticism. 3rd down and goal from the 8. Inside right and a roll to the left. Throws for the end zone. Knocked down and incomplete. Good defensive play by Jackson Ewald.
More importantly, that stops the clock. That stops the clock and gives Catholic Central a chance with 3:45 left in this game to hold their 3 timeouts so that they can have one last-ditch effort to try to win this game. They get him on the edge like we've seen all day. He has them, but it's just a bit inside.
Yeah.
Almost intercepted.
Now remember, Catholic Central has blocked 1 kick today. They've blocked 5 on the year. This will be the first field goal attempt for Gabe Hopkins today.
Remember the snap on the last attempt was very high. Let's see if he can get it down and make sure he gives him a chance to make this field goal.
Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is no good.
This is it. Shep.
This is why you talked about.
I told you.
On the 1-foot line.
You have an opportunity. You have to take advantage. Football is a game of momentum. The momentum is now on Catholic Central side, and they have life and an opportunity.
There's a little trouble getting it on the kicking tee, and it pays off for Catholic Central. Let's see if they can take advantage with 3:41 remaining.
Brooke Fletcher here, coming to you from Warren Mott. They're taking on Warren De La Salle behind me, but this is just the first stop of the day. Next, we're going to Madison Heights Bishop Foley, where New Lothrop is taking on Detroit Loyola. That's going to be a great game. We're going to have highlights from those 2 games and from games all across the state of Michigan coming up on the OT with John Keating, Mickey York, and Rob Rubik, so stick around.
Brooke, thank you. Her travels continue, and we've had some really good finishes, really good games today. This one is no different. 13-7. Davison leads. They had it at the goal line, pushed back a couple of times because of penalties, an incomplete pass, and then a missed field goal attempt gives Catholic Central the ball at their own 20-yard line. 3 timeouts, down 6, 3:41 to go. Honorable mention, All-State quarterback at the helm pile. Wants to throw, goes downfield, and through the hands of Owen Semp. That would have been a massive play for this offense. Get a little breathing room, right?
But it would have been a little early, right? You want to take some of this time off the clock. But I bet you they wish they had that one. Semp just barely missing the ball. Nice throw by Declan, who, you know, we talked about the new glove on the hand because of the finger issue. Looks like it hasn't affected him much.
He's thrown it well with that glove.
Yeah, and this is a time where legends are made. This is the opportunity you've been looking for if you're Declan Bow and your junior season as you're on your way to try to get to a state championship.
This is where you want to thrive. Pressure comes. He unloads. It's caught by Dursa, but he lost yardage.
Yeah, you almost want to drop that one, right?
Yeah, Pizzala came up, had the nice coverage. The sure wrap-up. The pressure continues from Davison's front 4, and Catholic Central's been feeling it all day.
These Davison two-way players have played well on both sides of the ball. I mean, this is awesome to see them continue to play the way they are after coming off a state championship, losing their quarterback, and to play so motivated and with so much determination. It's impressive to see. Not to mention a 55-day layover.
That's a loss of 1. Blitz comes. Bile hit as he throws. And incomplete. All right, it's 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11.
Haven't been able to do much offensively in the second half.
Fourth
you
down.
have 3 timeouts, and it's 4th down. What do you do?
I mean, you're going to throw this ball in the air, right? You got to get it in the air. Who do you go to? Who do you trust the most to get the ball in his hand? None of the receivers have made a huge splash. We saw Davenport make an early catch. We've seen Durst have a drop. We've seen Simp have a long catch, but haven't been on the same page with Declan Bow a whole bunch. You need to have your best play here to get 11 yards because this is the game.
Yet to convert on 4th down. Some might wonder why CC doesn't punt here. They got 3 timeouts.
Yeah. Maybe they trust their defense to stop them again and maybe give them another chance with 3 timeouts. But they're going to go ahead and talk about it like, hey, it's 2:51. If we can get a 3 and out and call these timeouts, but they use one of them, which just suggests they're going to have to go for it here.
Yeah, for sure. Owen Semp, number 4 in white, has been their big play receiver all season long. Matter of fact, the last time they played and they beat Lakeland in the district final, he had 4 catches for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yes, he did. Has 1 long catch today. They've targeted him quite a bit. He hasn't been on the same page with Declan Bow. They've been inches away from completing it. Even on this drive, they were inches away from completing a long pass on the first play. So, I mean, you got to think they may go to Simp here and try to make a play.
And Cam Davenport leads them in receiving yards and receptions. Hey, football fans, make sure to tune in again next Saturday at 1 o'clock for our Game of the Week semifinal edition. Don't miss out on all the gridiron action beginning at Fox Sports Detroit at 1. That's the MHSAA Football Game of the Week semifinals next Saturday at 1, right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Stick around for the OT show after this. John Keating, Rob Rubik, Mickey York standing by. Look at the lopsided lead for Davison in terms of moving the football. 4th and 11. Got to have it for the Shamrocks. 3-man rush. Bile sets up, delivers downfield, and off the helmet and incomplete. Intended for his tight end, Connor Cohen. No flags. Ball goes back to Davison on downs.
You got to get about as quick a stop as you can get on this first offensive play for Davison. He has plenty of time to get the ball down. Davison plays coverage. And good job by the referee not being enticed to try to throw a flag on that play. Great job by the offensive line giving Declan time. He gets the ball up, and you just lose your footing on this surface, right, when it's nice and cold. Cohen could not get to that football. Hits him right on the helmet, actually. You gotta get about as quick a stop as you can get on this first play, and I wouldn't call timeout first, and try to get another stop and then call timeout and start the timeout game and try to save some of this time and get this ball back and get a chance to drive down and score.
Davison takes over at the 19-yard line. Kreiderman made a nice move inside the 10 and all the way inside the 5. The second effort gets him down to the 3-yard line.
Not the quick stop they were looking for, Shep.
But the big play from Carter Kreiderman was for Davison.
Very good job of him getting in, and you see him pulling those linemen around and keeping his balance late in this football game. Very good. This looks like a team that knows how to finish and knows how to win. They won a state championship last year. They have a ton of starters back and a ton of guys that are moving on to play Division I and Division II football, and you can see it on display here tonight.
But what a job by 57 Isaac Norton. He did the pulling and really paved the way for Kreiderman's big game up the middle. We approach the 2-minute mark. They mark it at the 4. Kreiderman again. Second effort! Wow! Weight training paid off on that carry, and that should seal it for Davison.
When we take a look at this, I want you to look at Lucas Edgar, number 56, that's pulling. He blocks his guy, and then he sees, oh, you need help? I'll carry you into the end zone, because that's how bad I want to win the state championship, and it starts here against Catholic Central. Very good job by number 56, Lucas Edgar. He needs to get that touchdown. That's his touchdown. Very good.
That's called deadlifting 195 pounds into the end zone. Extra point is good. It's 20-7. Davison took over at the 19, needed just 2 plays and 45 seconds to make it a 2-score lead.
Now, what you're going to see here is 56. He's going to pull around, But after he pulls around, he's going to block his guy, and then he's going to see that his running back, Kreiderman, needs help, right? So he's going to block this guy here. He's going to pick him up and carry him all the way into the end zone. Very good job by him, making a play for his team, and you see him with the nice leg kick. Very good job. Kreiderman's been running hard all day, but as you can see, it's not been on his own. He's had help, and that was on display on that last play.
136 yards for Carter Kreiderman today. And those guys will be the first to tell you, along with Deion Brown, can't do it without the guys in the trenches.
And who are those guys? The Cooley, Richardson, Brady, Edgar, Norton, and we cannot forget about Pizzala, who's inserted himself into that blocking role as well.
I'll tell you what's even more impressive. If you're Catholic Central, you're basically saying, we know you're going to have to run the football to be successful. CC's defense is really good. I mean, really good. They've allowed 20 points to 3 playoff teams. That's it. They've allowed 20 today. So they knew Davison was going to have to run the football, and it didn't matter.
Didn't matter at all. They stood tall on offense. Davison took pride that they can still win this football game without their quarterback.
There's those big fellows right there. They're going to have an extra plate of pasta after this one, and they're going to deserve it. Under 2 minutes to go. Pooch kick, fielded at the 25. Spencer Lyons past the 35 to about the 37 or so. Menards brings you the big money moment, and it's been from a big money player. Deion Brown thrust into the situation of being an emergency quarterback, and he's thrown for a couple of scores today.
Yeah, he's been very impressive. I love how that graphic has him with gloves on, but he hasn't had gloves on today. He's been throwing the ball with no gloves to teammates with gloves on. Very good job by him. Thrust into duty in the regional final for your first at-bat, if you will. You know, Shep loves baseball.
Thank you.
His first at-bat, he's thrust into the regional final, and he has been masterful all day.
Yeah.
But Declan Bow has a chance.
Bile pressure coming, wrapped up by Will Watkins again. The two defensive ends wearing red and yellow have been menaces all day. Watkins on one side, Unger at the other. Both hungry for more.
They've been very, very good today, and they may be the reason that they repeat as state champions. I mean, just beats his one-on-one, and that's a talented left tackle that he's beating over there. Beats his man and gets to the quarterback quickly.
Devin, that's a 3-man rush, and they're getting there first.
And not only are they getting there quickly, right? He defeats his man quickly and gets to the quarterback, and Declan Bow almost doesn't even have a chance.
After the incompletion, it's now 3rd and 13.
This mask sucks, sorry.
We can all relate, Coach.
Yep.
We get it. Trips to the right for Bile. He looks that way. Funnel screen. Nice move. Davenport spinning. That's a first down carry after the catch.
I think CC was so dedicated to the running game, and it didn't give them what they thought they could have. We didn't see any of that earlier in the game, and that's what they've been all year. They just completely committed to the run game, and Davison committed to not allowing them to run the ball.
Bile on 1st and 10. Across the middle, and too high and incomplete, intended for Michael Ramirez. That hurt.
Yeah, you never want to stretch your receiver out like that. And, you know, a lot of playing receivers a bit in my day, you know, a lot of people say, yeah, you got to be tough. You want to go. Nobody wants to go over the middle with their arms stretched out. And he gets hit right in the middle of his small of his back. Hopefully he's okay.
That's Warren again delivering that big blow. Remember, it was his hit on Mohammed Jafer that put Jafer out of the game. Clean, leading with the shoulder, and doing it again here on that first down throw.
As good as Deion Brown has been, Warren and Pizzala have been huge for this football team. Deion Brown has been the engine, right? He's made sure that he's made all the plays he needs to make. But Warren on offense and defense and Pizzala on offense and defense have been amazing.
Agreed.
Today in this football.
I like what Unger and Watkins have done for Davison, though.
Yeah.
You talked about CC committing to the run. Maybe they did that because they couldn't stop number 10 and 95 in red.
Absolutely. And then when they did stop them, you got number 34 in red coming out of nowhere, right? Fresh off of being on offense, being a lead blocker. Now he's taking out the lead blocker and making a tackle on the running backs.
Boy, think of how challenging that's been. 55 days since they last played, and he has, I doubt, missed a snap, 34, Pizzala, on either side of the ball. And same with 3, Warren.
And what you're talking about is the conditioning, right? How much conditioning can you do when you have 50-day layoff, 55-day layoff? Playing football, the only way to get in football shape is playing football. You can do as much conditioning as you want, but playing football is the best way to get in shape. And he just hasn't been able to do that for 55 days. And to see him on both sides of the ball perform the way he has, that's very impressive.
Well, Jake Weingart's told us earlier in the week the motivation factor and the lifting and the dedication by his guys have been really impressive. To the other side, Davenport, another funnel screen. And out of bounds at the 49 of Davison. 45 seconds remain. Rockford awaits the winner here. Third and long. Bile unloads, and is that intercepted? It is. Carter Harriman, the freshman linebacker, icing on the cake for the Davison defense.
Declan Bile just trying to get the ball out and gets his hands underneath the ball and drives on it. Very good job by him.
That's a nice play by the freshman linebacker.
Man, that's got to feel good as a freshman. Probably the only new starter new player on the defense that won a state championship, and being able to contribute to ice the game has got to feel good for that young man.
They lost junior Gabe Smith in the first game of the year to a leg injury. Harriman's come in, and he's done a great job of filling that void at 6'1", 185. Remember that name. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for Davidson's defense.
The best play in football.
They'll let the clock wind down. Davison will improve to 10-0 after winning their first Division I state championship a year ago. Deion Brown in a really tough spot, taking over for one of the best quarterbacks the state has to offer. Rises to the occasion, as does Davison. The dream of repeating remains alive for the Davison Cardinals with a 20-7 win. A lot of heart, a lot of toughness, and a lot of skill on that Davison sideline. Let's send it to John Keating, Mickey York, and Rob Rubik with a preview of what's coming up on High School Football OT. Fellas?
All right, Chef, thanks. And coming up on High School Football OT, it was expected to be one of the best games in the state today, but the Belleville-Cass Tech game was extremely one-sided. We'll let you know who came out on the good side.
Muskegon Mona Shores looking for a repeat in Division II. They battled a strong East Lansing team this afternoon. We'll show you who came out on top in that one.
An incredible game between River Rouge and Detroit King. It went down to the wire. The final kick coming up on the OT show. The legendary Rob Rubik alongside Mickey York and I with High School Football OT in just a skosh.